Thanks very much, everybody. Firstly, I'd like you to join me and welcome a couple of legends from their respective clubs this afternoon. They're going to bring today's Premiership trophy out onto UTAS Stadium now. First, he played 293 games, Hall of Fame member and club legend with St Pat's. Please welcome Nigel Meek, and also an absolute legend of Old Scotch. He's in his 51st year, they tell me, with the club. He's an icon of Old Scotch. It's Jeff Sauce Price. So please welcome Nigel Meek and Sauce Price. Fantastic. Thanks very much, gentlemen. Now, before the coin toss, we've brought this man out here today because he doesn't like the limelight at all. But for those of you who may not be aware, a couple of days ago, this gentleman was named the Volunteer of the Year for the whole of Australia by the AFL. So I'd like you to please acknowledge out here on the field with me today, Scott Flynn. Congratulations, Scotty. Enjoy that brand new $69,000 Toyota coming your way, and of course going to the grand final as well. Well deserved. I'll now invite to come out into the centre area here Simon Morrison, the competition manager of the NTFA, to perform the coin toss. And I'd like to invite the respective captains, Jonty Swallow and Tom Hilder, out for the coin toss to see who's going to kick which way. And on this beautiful day today, Old Scotch won the toss. They're going to kick to the city end in the first quarter. And if I could now have everyone up standing, firstly for the Welcome to Country, featuring prominent Aboriginal advocate and NTFA member Graham Gardner, and this will be followed by the National Anthem.
Ligina Lutrawita. For thousands of years, Aborigines have remained connected to country. Our old people harvested the land, our warriors hunted a landscape shaped by traditional fire, and our women gathered resources to provide for their family group. Back then, we walked the many tracks across the northern Midlands that led us to the head of the Cunnamulla Tamar River. Today, those tracks are lined by buildings, and the landscape, once adorned by trees and grassy plains, are fewer. Warranta Lumi. We are here. Our culture is alive.
Thanks very much, everyone. Good luck to both teams.
NTFA Division 1 Grand Final, the pinnacle for these lads. It is St Pat's up against Old Scotch. What a game it will be. In that reserves Grand Final, it was Old Launcestonians 12-4-76. Beat St Pat's 9-5-59. So a 17-point win to OLs. And will that stamp the papers today of St Pat's in the senior side? Will it be 1-1, or will they go 0-2 for today here at this magnificent venue, UTAS Stadium? All the pictures this afternoon been brought to you by Duff TV, and we are very happy to be live streaming this to you wherever you are around the world, because you can just slip on to a link and you can be watching it. Maybe you're in Yemen, maybe you're in Iceland somewhere, but maybe you're just up the road. But this will be a wonderful game. In special comments this afternoon, after doing a wonderful job of the reserves, is Rob Soward. Rob, welcome to you again, and really important, as you mentioned just before we came on air, that the teams get off to a good start here. Welcome.
Thanks very much, Michael, and obviously a pleasure to be back here today, calling with you. And what a day we've had so far. But yes, for Old Scotch, it's really important that they get off to a cracking start. St Pat's will start as favourites, there's no doubt about that. Comfortable win in the second semi, but as we know, the grand final's one game, and that's all you've got to do it for.
That's it. Rick Fontyn will also be joining us in the commentary box. He's been down at ground level with the officiating duties, but we're getting really close to a start. I think Rick might have broke into a mad sweat as he's made his way up into the commentary box. And
the pre-season training's done him a world of good, Michael. He's looking fit and he's ready to go.
I need to be able to take some tips.
Oh, might look fit, but boy, oh boy. You better start the game, mate.
No worries. We'll wait for you to get your breath. I think the crowd are waiting on a few things here. They've taking some deep breaths here. But in the ruck, Jake Kilby for St Pat's, and he will be opposed to Brad Dickenberg. And we're just waiting for a few things to sort themselves out, and we're almost ready to go in the NTFA Division 1 Grand Final, St Pat's and Old Scotch. Here we go. Who can get there first? St Pat's are going to move it forward now. So long kick by Kilby, and it's chopped off at half back. Oh, almost ran into his opponent. It's a high ball, mark taken, and nicely done there by Connor Bryant. So they move it through the middle of the ground, and that's a tough mark, but well taken there by Jackman. Goes out wide. See, they're handling the ball pretty well so far, Old Scotch. That kick is a good one. No mark taken. And a bit of riding bronco over there. But Rob, both teams got to settle as yet.
No, absolutely. Scratchy start, but I think it's probably more important for Scotch to get off to a good start than St Pat's, because obviously St Pat's the dominant side through the year.
So, little kick away by Jake King, the vice captain of St Pat's. Here's a foot race. Kick off the ground. Dickenberg did okay, then just leaves it. And might just come out. The handball there was from John McKenzie and missed its target, and it rolls out of play. John McKenzie had a good season last year. He might have been in the running for the medal last year. McKenzie, and Charlie Eastoe too, I think, was in that running. But Rick Fontyn, welcome to you.
Thanks, Michael Maney. Great to be here. Minute and a half gone opening term. No scorers yet. Ball in the centre of the ground, and no real clear breakaway yet, but an opportunity here. If St Pat's could build here, they do. Out and towards the centre wing position. No mark taken. Might have been a bit of holding. Play on, says the umpire. Lets it go. And now a chance for St Pat's through King. Kicks it into the left forward pocket. And the ball trickles out of bounds, and we'll have a boundary throw in. Just gone over the 2-minute mark. First term. Great to have your company here. Division 1 Grand Final. Rick Fontyn, Michael Maney and Rob Soward with you on Duff TV's live coverage. St Pat's and Old Scotch, these two famous rivals, plenty of history. Ball out of the ruck. Kick, and it's going to be a mark, and it's taken by the skipper for Old Scotch, Johnny Swallow. Really important player. He goes short. It's a good kick. Mark taken. Perfect conditions here at UTAS Stadium. The ground is always amazing. And Rob Soward, no excuses today. Great atmosphere with the crowd here as well. We've seen 2 good grand finals, and should be a beauty.
Absolutely, it's a fantastic atmosphere, and it's what community football's all about. So, looking for lots of goals.
Well, none so far. Kilby's been prominent, and his high ball towards the 50. Just a little fumble or two by Miller. Now a swing around the left boot was Jackman. That's a pretty high bounce on that. Just wrestle for the football in between centre half forward and the centre square, with St Pat's slightly in attack. All thumped away by Dickenberg, did it nicely. But running onto it and doing well was James for St Pat's, and Voke takes the mark for the men in green. Out wide, really wide, just trying to use his body and get an advantage was Lasky, but couldn't quite do it. It'll be a ball in, so no score, and to be honest, both sides haven't looked like pushing forward with any purpose just at the moment. Not a bad effort by the boundary umpire, but no one could even get a fingertip on it. Lasky around the body, that might be a goal. We've got our first. Lasky just turned it over the left shoulder, and on the board they go. So a nice start here for St Pat's. They get their first goal, 1 goal straight. 6 to Old Scotch yet to score, Rob.
Sort of out of nothing, really, wasn't it, Michael? It was just weight of pressure, you know, getting the ball in the forward half of the ground, but Lasky, very, very clever player around the ball. A good acquisition for him, ex-South Launceston player, and that's a really, really great start. And as I've touched on, really important for Scotch to get off to a good start. We've talked about McKenzie, we've talked about Swallow. They're going to be 2 critical players from today in and around the footy.
All right, back in the centre of the ground, St Pat's with the opening goal, going down in a thriller in the reserves grand final. If you missed that one, to Old Launcestonians. Ball still in the centre circle. It's not coming out there in a hurry, and the umpires have let it go early, which is good to see. Little hurried kick, just gone the required distance. It has. You're going to have to be quick. Kicks it in towards full forward. Good one. Spots up. I think it was chopped off there in the end. So St Pat's mark there, just in the last line of defence. Taken there by Dickenberg. It goes across to the railway side of UTAS Stadium. Good mark there taken, because by King, leading goal kicker in the NTFA this year. 61 goals for the season. And, well, dropping the mark he should have taken there was Blizzard for Scotch. So St Pat's with the opportunity, and they might make them pay here. That was a pretty easy chance, and I think it's Voke, is it? No, it's Jacob Lasky again, who's already got 1 to his name. Rob, that was a critical error there.
It was, and Jake Lasky's a guy you can't give that amount of space to. You also highlighted Jake King further up the ground, just to confirm with our listeners, it's not the push-up King, it's Launceston's own Jake King. So he's critical for St Pat's as well.
Jacob Lasky at the 6-minute mark of the opening term. A chance for St Pat's second, and his second directly in front from about 35 out. It's a good kick. It's drifting slightly, hits the post. So at the 6.5-minute mark of the opening term, St Pat's with all the scoring 117. Lead Old Scotch yet to score.
And I'll get my sevens worked out in a minute, Rick, because Dickenberg doesn't play for St Pat's. Here we go. Kick smothered. They go forward through Ballium, and it is out of bounds. So the number 7 is for Old Scotch is Lachlan McFadgen, and I've been calling him Dickenberg, so well done me. But we're early days. But good crowd in. Beautiful weather. Up they go. Good tackling, and that's holding the ball. Lasky again with the tackle. Geez, been prominent. Kick 1 goal 1, and now a forward 50 tackle. Driving, punishing ball, almost hooking it in. was Voke. Now he's got to spin back and finds a target and did it nicely. And his man, thought about giving it off too. And that's Ethan Conway. But have a look at this. Almost. Just bounced off his chest in the end as he hooked it in. So, Conway from 45. He's got a little bit of hook on it, and it stayed out left. So 1-2-8 St Pat's. Old Scotch yet to score.
Just keep a little eye on Jasper Krusker of St Pat's, of Old Scotch, who copped a little bit of a whack, and he looks to have recovered now. Took a while to get up. Ball is on the outer side of the ground, and chance now for the Thistles to come forward. It's a good-looking kick and a nice mark taken by Young. Quick to play on there. Loose man at full forward. Is going to get to him? No, he's not. The delivery into the forward line hasn't been great yet from Old Scotch. Then a chance for St Pat's now on the counter. Good-looking kick towards centre wing position. Here's that man, Conway again. Leads a race of the ball, being chased there by Blizzard. And the ball's going to beat them all and go over the boundary line. Just forward of the wing with St Pat's slightly into attack. They lead it. They've got all the scoring at the moment, 8-0. We've played almost 9 minutes opening term of the Division 1 Senior Grand Final. Again, a good throw in from the boundary umpire. And over the shoulder, it's going to be a free kick. Umpire just had the arm going the wrong way initially, but it's an Old Scotch free kick from that ruck contest.
That's my man.
It is your man. Dishes off the handball. Here's a chance now through Jackman. Goes towards the centre of the ground and does find his teammate, who's plays on quickly, not the required distance, so away they go. And onto the out of the gun, the long road home here at the minute, and that ball is over the top. So going quite indirect here, early stages, Rob.
Yeah, they are, and Scotch have got to tidy up the directness of their play, and you made the point, Rick, in commentary. Just not nice entries inside 50. They've really got to give their good forwards a good look at it if they're going to capitalise on the opportunities they'll generate.
McFadden was in there. I had to get his name out. A little bit of work off the hands, ends up with Lasky. He's doing some work today, close to the line. Nicely kept in by King, who's kicked 60-odd goals, I think, this year. Jake King, who's been really handy for them around the sticks. No clean possession out of this. Umpire is the whistle in hand. It might just pop out. It does. Squeeze ball kick. Chaos ball. No one can get clean position. King with the tackle. Umpire said play on. Just hoisting it off the ground. Just backing himself and coming through there was Tom Hilda. It's the big ruckman who struggling to get down to the tippy toes. And what's the ground like? Ricky, been out in the middle of the ground. We had a little bit of rain during the week, but still pretty. The surface beautiful.
Outstanding, Michael. It's not a bead of water on there whatsoever. Dry as a bone, and no excuses for losing your footing. That's for sure. As St Pat's with another entry into the forward 50. Spills handball there from McFadden, your man, Michael.
Yep, love him.
They're going to come inside again. Now, tell you what, that wasn't Lasky again, was it?
Lasky.
What a start to the game he's had. He's kicked 2 goals. St Pat's have 2 goals, and they've made a fast start. 2-2-14. Old Scotch yet to score.
I'd probably add in Jake Lasky, 2-1-13. Old Scotch 0-0-0. He's just been critical early. But one of the interesting things with these two sides that our listeners, I'm sure, would understand, because they're old collegiate sides, there's a lot of familiarity between, you know, the students who've played for St Pat's, students that have played for Old Scotch. So they're really feeling each other out in the first part of this game, Michael, and but St Pat's have certainly capitalised on their opportunities.
Even their number 7s look the same from both sides. It's crazy.
Disguised.
Up goes McFadden again. And yeah, spotted him early in the game, and I thought, right, I'll get you right. And I wasn't looking at the program cross-eyed. But he's been pretty good for them, nonetheless. Apologies to him and his family. Away we go. Free kick, and Ballium was in amongst that, but it is a free kick. Kick over the top. Nicely read at the back was by Matthew Williams for St Pat's. So Williams now, little chipping ball, that's okay. Finds Jacob Perkins. Lasky flew one-handed, but I'm not going to argue with him at all today because he's doing everything.
He's just gone up onto the ball, actually. He was at the in the centre square at the last ball up.
Yeah, it's so creative. Just very creative with whatever he's done so far, Lasky.
So boundary throw in. Right in the true centre wing position. Scotch have got to sort out this delivery into the forward line. They've had it chopped off every single time so far, and they've got the numbers here, St Pat's as well. Working hard there was Williams for St Pat's, who got boot to ball. No, he didn't. Umpire thought he did. Play on, and a high tackle eventually paid. And it's going to be a free kick to St Pat's. Quickly taken by Walsh, and they're going to break away here again through Jake King, being prominent early. That's a nice defensive mark, and it's taken by Fryatt. Just need to steady the ship here a little bit. It's been a good start for St Pat's, who certainly entered the grand final as favourites. Just the one loss for the season, and that was to Old Scotch in round 18 by 1 point. Again, poor delivery, and works this way. They had the numbers 2-1, and it's going to be a push, and it's going to be a free kick. It's going to go the way of St Pat's, and it's Ethan Conway. Comes across just over the top of Dickenberg. Might have been a bit of holding, but he breaks away nicely. Inside 50. Charles Eastoe kicks it long. Good mark. Take it in the right forward pocket. And it's going to be the first attempted goal for Old Scotch. And boy, they need it. Nice mark under pressure there by Jacob Martin, but he's pinned right in there. We've seen a couple of nice goals from this side of play today. Martin with a kick, out the full. Hits the behind post, so they're still yet to score. And midway through the opening term, and it's St Pat's leading 2-2. Scotch zip.
Didn't hit the belly of the ball there, far from it. Got too much on the point.
Yeah, he did, and you know, that's a gilt-edged opportunity. You only get so many of them in a game. Just got to take them when they're there.
Long kick out. King at the back. Just looks a player, doesn't he? Moves well. He's about to get run down, but this is kick away. A nice kick, looking for his teammate up there in Claridge. He couldn't take the mark, then rolls over the top. So coming out from half back was De Boer, and his kick is okay. And Scotch, oh, they've opened it up here. Real big opportunity. They just need to duck back around. Here's Eastoe, kept it low. Wonderful kick. His teammate in Ritchie couldn't hang on. Handball's a bit loose. In they go, St Pat's. Gee, under pressure now. Ritchie again, and then caught with the footy. What about the kick from Eastoe?
It was fantastic. Charlie Eastoe is just so important. I think you mentioned him earlier, Michael, just how important he is, what a good player he is. Him and Mackenzie, I think you mentioned, key users of the footy for Scotch Oakburn.
He's a young talent, that is for sure. I think second in the goal kicking this year, and kid with a bright future.
Can play cricket too.
Yes. Yep. Harrison kicks it to the railway side. And here he is, King. He and Lasky have had a great start. Inside 50 again. Rodman, I think this time might bounce through. I think it has. It's bounced through for a goal. St Pat's have got 3. 3-2-20, and they lead Old Scotch yet to score. And geez, danger signs early. Apart from Eastoe's entry that came in, it's been very, very poor deliveries, as you've said, Rob Sow. That's been absolutely killing them early stages for Old Scotch.
Yeah, and it's almost a 12-point turnaround, that one. I mean, Eastoe, beautiful delivery into Ritchie, holding the drops a chest mark, holding the ball, goes up the other end. One of the things we're noticing with St Pat's is how beautifully they transition the football. Their ability to transition from back half to front half is excellent so far.
Yeah, just final score. It's, of course, preliminary final day in the Premier Division. Old Launcestonians through to the grand final. They defeated Old Scotch in the women's, 4-5-29 to 3-7-25. So a thriller there. OLs will now play Launceston in the women's grand final next week.
Plenty happening in football at this time of the year. Get excited about it. Voke, handball over the top. King, left foot, right foot, doesn't bother him. At the back, Lasky. Gee, you want to mark him. He's clever. In they go. Handball just pushed out. Another one over the top, and a shot on goal is missed, and that is by the big fella in Kilby. And a behind. So St Pat's off to a flyer on a beautiful day at UTAS. There's pictures coming to you from Duff TV. And 21 points the margin now as Rick Fontyn takes up the commentary as Easto gets a couple high and decides to pull up.
Might have ducked, but the umpire gave the benefit of the doubt. So getting the kick in, the vice-captain, Charlie Easto. They try to come into the corridor, and that's a nice kick. Right in the centre circle. Quick handball. This might be Swallow, the captain. Comes out wide. Good kick. Mark under pressure. And 3 goes at it. Play on, says the umpire. Probably fair enough. Didn't quite have control. That's a good tackle. Will he be rewarded? No, he won't. Ball up. Strong tackle.
Scotch has certainly lifted the pressure, which is exactly what they have to do. 21 points down at this stage of the game.
Yep, that's a high one. Easy decision there right in front of the umpire. And the Old Scotch interchange box. Free kick will go the way of Dark. Jock Dark now. Towards half forward. Just seem to have numbers there. Picked up by Perkins. Now with Barry. It's good purchase on the kick. And it's going to beat all comers and over the line and out of bounds. So approaching the 20-minute mark here at UTAS Stadium, the home of football. Perfect day. And how good to have NTFA football here. All grand finals in Division 1 and the Premier Division. Division 1, well, it hasn't been played here for about 11 years. It's brilliant. They need a goal, Old Scotch, and they need it badly to give them a bit of momentum. Good bump there, good strong tackle on Vandenberg. And we'll get a ball up about 65 out from the Old Scotch goal as they head to the city end in the opening term.
William Vandenberg, the number 50 with the arm aloft, and he's the only one that's going to go for that footy. Now they swing it back. Going to get hot in the long sleeves today. Lasky couldn't mark, but is clever enough to get it back, and then the handball just didn't work for him down the line. It'll be another boundary throw in. The crowds have rolled in this afternoon to UTAS Stadium, and I can tell you what, they've seen some great footy. That reserves match was as good a game as you'll see.
Yep, cracking game, and I can tell you on the lower level of the Western stand here, it's very, very busy indeed. Excellent crowd here.
And the girls fought out an interesting match. South Launceston getting the chocolates there. A couple of little pirouettes there by Josh Matthews, and ends up dropping the footy. So now it's taken by Harper, who sees a man in plenty of space out there in Conway. Conway out in front of King. King's going to run out of real estate here, is he? Yes. Taken to the line under pressure by James de Boer. There's a nice little crop of supporters there. Just found a little spot there they can cluster and hurl a bit of abuse if they feel like it.
The good old railway workers hill. Love it.
This ground has changed so much in time. So a long ball bursting torp has been marked by Martin, and Martin, who missed with a shot a few moments ago, but he's not going to have a shot here, and he'll just chip it into the centre.
They do like to switch the play, Old Scotch, and it's forward to the centre. Kenzie spots a teammate. That's a nice kick. Nice kick indeed. Mark taken there by Jasper Krushka, and it's a great defensive punch over the boundary line by the skipper for St Pat's, Tom Hilda. And we'll get a boundary throw in about 10 metres out.
Not many Jaspers running around in footy these days, is there, Jasper?
No, I don't encounter too many Jaspers, do you? More a soccer player, aren't they? Danish soccer player.
Yeah. Lovely throw in by the boundary umpire. Deep into the opening term here. And that's a strong tackle. Pretty easy one for the umpire. Coming in pretty hard there. Better be careful, Clay Ritchie. to not give away a free kick. But tell you what, it's been pretty clean so far for a couple of teams that are massive rivals. That's a strong tackle too.
Look out.
And now might get a bit willing. He's actually paid a free kick here, has he? No, I thought he might have for a moment.
He put a bit of mustard on it, Conway, didn't he?
Yeah. Umpiring's been good so far. They've let the game go. And again, they're going to get a breakaway. Oh, that's holding the ball. Great tackle. Well played there by Alex McKenzie in the helmet. Quickly dishes it off. Bryant inside 50. Good tackle. Oh, not. Umpire's paid too high. The crowd don't like it. I must say, initially I thought it was a pretty good tackle. Hit the ground pretty high. Oh yes, I can see why he actually paid for a high tackle, but probably should have made the decision as a sling tackle, because you can see his head hit the ground, and that's what's done the damage. So free kick going the way of a little groggy Jacob Perkins, deep in the opening term. 23.5 minutes played.
Told to play on, kicks to a pack situation. Up they fly. There's a drop kick. Haven't seen one of those since maybe Dickie Spencer used to ply his trade around for Longford.
Certainly one in the old coach's book from the 1970s, that one, Michael.
Yes. I don't think coaches these days are going to go too much on that. So Conway, his kick is just drifting away, and De Boer just got in the hole and took the mark. So Old Scotch still searching for their first goal. Mark taken by McFadden. McKenzie. Oh, sold a teammate into all sorts of bother. Now they go forward. Oh, they get into each other's way there. Two forwards. Skirting around and doing it nicely was Williams. They go in after the footy. And it'll be a ball up. Just a little bit of a lack of torque, Rob, just a moment or two ago with the two Old Scotch forwards. Yeah, and
you and Rick have both said in commentary how important it is they get that forward set up sorted out, and that's a classic example of why.
McFadden's given away the free kick on Kilby in the ruck. So that's a big ball bursting high ball. Lasky just flew 3 deep and got nowhere near the footy. So Scotch are going to get forward here.
One of the great words in football, Michael Maney, ball burster. You don't hear it very often. Lovely to hear it.
Ball bursting, yes. Love the ball bursters. Connor Bryant. But just reaching over the top and taking the mark was Julian James.
Again, falling short, cut off. So St Pat's defence well on top of the Old Scotch forwards in this opening quarter. Ball over the back. Here's a chance for a man who's had a fair bit of it. Conway keeps it in play, worked really hard to do that as well, but eventually it does go over. And Conway just hit the fence quite hard there. Look at those new age fences that they have. They hurt.
They do, and they're expensive. We'll probably have to send him the bill for that.
Chip a bit out of those and see how much it costs.
Almost 26 minutes played in the opening quarter. Siren can't be too far away. And it doesn't look like it's going to come out of there. Umpire, though, letting it go. Tapped away. Scotch dearly love a late goal. And he handballed it away. It does go out of bounds.
I was just watching a moment ago, Julian James, you called. Julian James is a terrific athlete, and the great intercept mark he took back there a moment ago, he's just going to do that all day if they just bomb the ball in there. They've just got to be more precise.
Thrown in. And there is the siren. 26.5 minute opening term, and it's a good one for the favourites who finished on top of the ladder, St Pat's. Quarter time here at UTAS Stadium. They lead 3-3-21. Old Scotch yet to score. 2 goals to Jacob Lasky, the first 2 of the game, and Patrick Rodman with the other 4 St Pat's. And Rob, as we take a look at it, St Pat's obviously would be very happy, but we've been calling it. There's some obvious things that Scotch can work on. They're certainly well and truly in this game.
Absolutely. Rick, they did some really, really good things in the last 7 or 8 minutes of that quarter. They probably seized the momentum back from St Pat's, but just didn't convert on the scoreboard. We talked about a couple of not so good entries. and some bad decisions there. So I'm sure their coaching staff will sort that out at quarter time. They've certainly been winning their share of the ball through the middle, and I've been particularly impressed with their physicality around the ball. When St Pat's got off the leash and got those 2 early goals and then had a look at another one, Scotch really lifted the physicality, and as a result swung the momentum back their way.
Quarter time summary there from Rob Soward, and we're going to take a very quick break. We'll be back with the second quarter shortly. It's St Pat's leading the way by 21 points. Again, was it?
Lasky.
What a start to the game he's had. He's kicked 2 goals. St Pat's have 2 goals.
Can play cricket too.
Yes. Yep. Harrison kicks it to the railway side. And here he is, King. He and Lasky have had a great start. Inside 50 again. Rodman, I think this time might bounce through. I think it has. It's bounced through for a goal. St Pat's have got 3. 3-2-20, and they lead Old Scotch yet to score. And UTAS Stadium, where it is St Pat's leading the way by 21 points. The players just making their way back into position. We've got some updates from down at Georgetown, where the preliminary finals are happening in the Premier Division. Final score in the reserves a tight one, but Longford making their way through to the grand final. Their seniors already in there. Longford 9-10-64 were too strong for Bridgenorth in the end, 7-6-48, and the first quarter is underway between Rochely and Bracknell, the winner of that, to face Longford in the seniors. And Michael Maney, Longford, a famous club, of course, actually looking for their first senior premiership since 1989. It's quite incredible, that drought.
That is, that's a long time between drinks, isn't it?
It is indeed.
For a wonderful club like Longford. Well, it looks like the coach of Old Scotch has thrown John McKenzie into the guts and said, right, we need some drive out of there. Swallow in there as well. And the big man, Lachlan McFadden, to take things up in the ruck against Kilby. Kilby did it nicely. Swallow just slapped it back. Kilby left it for the runners. It should be dropping the ball. Not paid. Dark. So out of defence goes St Pat's. Awkward bouncing ball. No one can get it, so they've got to run round the back and collect it. Nicely done as they work their way out of half back, with the kicks chopped off. This is what's been happening. The kick from out of half back has not been good for Old Scotch, and they've just been shown the right way to do it here today as Hallerson kicks it long, or just hits the turf. Booted away. Nice finger tipper by Rodman, who kicked a goal in that first term. Nice running goal too. So Rodman goes inside forward 50. Kicked off the ground. So Fryatt gets a real high ball. It's like one of those skying catches, wasn't it? That Jackman had to just keep his eye on it. And now a free kick will go to Old Scotch.
Well, they need the first score. Just got to get themselves back in the game. And the mark taken in the centre of the ground there by De Boer. And that's an awful kick. And it's a costly turnover. And they're going to break quickly, try and catch Scotch out here towards full forward. Almost taken height. Play on, says the umpire. They might get away with it. A bit of the fumbles there was McFadden. And it might have been held there, De Boer. And the umpire, non-officiating umpire, saw it. And it's going to be a free kick to James De Boer. Goes all the way back to the goal square to McKenzie. And he comes inboard.
To the other McKenzie.
The other McKenzie, indeed. So ball now with Martin. And they switch and go out wide. Swallow, the captain, finds his teammate. So this is better. Edmonds comes inboard, holding a bit of possession here. Ball now with Dark. But not a lot of options, not a lot of movement up the field. So he's got to go long towards centre wing. And easily punched away and goes out of bounds. So boundary throw in centre wing.
It's a really bad mistake there by Jimmy De Boer. I mean, that could have been disastrous if that had led to a goal, but he got back and certainly impacted that contest with it coming in.
Did do well. Handball out there from Bryant. It's a good tackle and it's holding the ball. So free kick to St Pat's. Rodman. Sorry, it's King. Jake King with the ball. Plays on. And this standing the mark allows you to do that and gain a bit of meterage. Ball punched to ground. Good bump there on Walsh before he could take possession. Whistle goes, but play on. And the mark taken by Bryant.
Bryant sits it up high. Roving it and doing it beautifully was Eastoe. Eastoe pulled the kick. What a kick! That is really classy from Charlie Eastoe, and found his man and hit him on the chest, Clay Ritchie. And this is superb. Have a look.
Gosh, that's good,
at how he made the decision to hook that kick.
Ritchie was the only person that could have marked that kick.
Yep.
That's how perfect it was.
Well, they haven't got a goal so far. Ritchie's got a distance of about 40 metres. No angle. It's sliding away to the left. They've got to make every post a winner in this game when you're 20-odd points down in a grand final.
They're on the board.
But they're on the board. They've got something to talk about tonight, Lise.
It's taken 4 minutes into the second term. And St Pat's, the quick breakaway out of defence. Oh, he's going to go here, surely. Yep. The old one-handed attempted handball. And they've just lifted their intensity here, Scotch. Good little period for them. Got to try and make it pay. Nice kick, and the mark is taken there by that man Easto. Now, he's a left footer. And I'll tell you what, he's not without a chance here. He is a beautiful kick of the ball. We saw that on full display just a moment ago. He's going to kick from about 45 metres out. Charles Easto sets sail for home. It's across the face of goal, and it's off hands through for one behind. So Scotch move on to two behinds, and they trail St Pat's by 19. They're 3-3-21.
My man Dickenberg's got it at full-back. Love these number 7s. High kick, pushing back and taking the mark was Vandenberg. They move it forward. Really high kick, and high wide, not so handsome by Conway. Now the umpire
50
is giving 50. Asked him to stand. I would say that might be against Bellchambers. Asked him to stand. He might have moved off his line just a fraction, which is why the AFL and all and sundry need to make that thing disappear. So Brad Fryatt goes long, hoped for a mark. Richie was there, trying to tap it into a dangerous position. Conway with a bit of burst footy, so St Pat's get out of trouble. Now they're back in trouble. They're swallowed. A little chipping ball, and Bryant has taken the mark. He'll have to kick this from almost the paint of 50. Rob, and not sure whether he's got the journey.
No, I'm not sure either. But as you've both highlighted, it's been a nice little patch for Scotch, but they certainly need to put a score on the board. You know, it's well and good for us to say, look, you know, they're back in the game and they're doing good things. The scoreboard hasn't changed, so this needs to be needs to get the trip, and it needs to go through the middle.
Connor Bryant gets a bit of a wind up and then spews it out to the right. Big fist in the middle of that. There might be a chance here. Easto round the body, good kick, got a goal. One of the classiest players on the field, Charlie Easto, knew exactly what he was doing. And Scotch get their first goal at the 7-minute mark of the second term.
To say that was importance and understatement, guys. He's been really, really good today, Charlie Easto. Obviously their best player by far, but he needs to find some mates. You know, we talked about some names there. McKenzie, Swallow, Dark. These guys in and around the ball, got to join him, because he's been playing a bit of a lone hand at the moment.
No doubt.
Kicked 33 goals for the season, Charlie Easto. I think second on the list behind Jake King of St Pat's. It's been a very nice start. They've dominated possession in the first 8 minutes. And they'll get the centre break here as well. Unfortunate bounce there. Leading the race for the ball is Bryant. Needs a bit of help. And funny little handball there. Ends up with Vandenberg. And they'll break away. Here is Lasky, gets a kick out wide. Nice kick. Mark should be taken. Out on the railway wing for St Pat's. They just being slowed down a little bit. They've certainly set up a lot better. You mentioned that a bit earlier, Rob, as well. That didn't go the required distance, and it's going to be holding the ball. So they're on top here at the moment, Old Scotch. And it's that man, Johnny McKenzie, who's got the free kick. Comes in board. It's all right. Finds his teammate. Swallow, the captain. Bullet-like pass in towards full forward. Worked under it nicely. Here's Easto. Oh, geez, going in hard. He's going to get a high tackle. He's going to get a free kick and a shot.
What do you call that, Rob? Overzealous? Is that the light term for it?
It is a polite term, and very much something out of the WWE channel, that one.
Yeah.
It was, you know, it's silly. And he's not the biggest guy out there, Charlie Easto, but he certainly plays with a massive heart.
He does. So he's got a chance to kick two in a couple of minutes and put Old Scotch right back in it. Slight angle, 30 out. Charlie Easto. Moves in deliberately. Nice looking kick. Goal umpire doesn't move. Goal to Old Scotch. They're right back in it. Margin down to 7 points. Scotch, they haven't scored. St Pat's haven't scored in the opening 9.5 minutes. Old Scotch have banged on 2-2. Margin 7, Rob.
Yeah, it's exactly the start we talked about, both off air and at the start of this quarter, that Old Scotch need. They're starting to assert their dominance in and around the footy. They're being a little bit better with their forward entries. I mean, I'd go as far to say if they can tidy those forward entries up and maintain that dominance around the ball, St Pat's are going to have to think about what they do to counteract that.
I think the move has been that Easto's gone a little deeper. We know he's a goal kicker, and then we'll just rely on John McKenzie Swallow to get their hands on the footy and try and get some deep entry, and he'll do the finishing for us. So Lasky's been thrown into the centre. He's dispossessed, but Scotch are definitely on a move. Goals at the 7 and 9 minute mark of this term, both by Easto, have that lead back to cut back to 7 points. And is that Lasky who's on the deck there? He's got a face full of mud, maybe. Not there's too much mud on this guy.
Unfortunately, no flags flying here. We can't tell if there's a little bit of a breeze. The breeze was very light, though, at the start of the game, and we can pick it up here. Oh, yes.
Yeah. It's landed on the left ear, I think. He's going to be okay. He'll be in the ruck. Second effort wasn't too bad. Umpires picked a free kick out. It was in danger. So Scotch are going to go back into attack again through you-know-who. Long kick. Kept it in play beautifully there was Bryant. Now here's a chance for Scotch. Not enough bend on that. And it goes out of bounds on the full.
They're well on top here, aren't they, Rob Soward?
Yeah, they are. As we've said, though, they just need to put that score on the board. But yeah, they've thrown the gauntlet out to St Pat's. They're going to make them think about what they can do to stop that midfield dominance.
There's a little bit of concern we just saw on the camera there from the St Pat's coach, Jacob Lowe. And well, we didn't see a lot of free kicks in the first quarter, but there's been a few in this one. And I guess one's going to go the way of Kilby for St Pat's. So it's a decent purchase on that one. And going up before acceptances. Ball falls to Duggan. And they'll come away now through Miller. And it's smothered near the boundary line. It's another fist to it, Miller. And they break away. Scotch come forward again. Nice kick. Quick play on. Here they come again. Miller. Nice delivery. That's Young in towards half forward, about 30 out from the Scotch goal. And it's not going to come out. And field umpire's going to have to come in and ball it up about 40-45 metres out. Right forward pocket here for Old Scotch. Doing all the attacking. Almost 13 minutes played in the second term. St Pat's leading the Division 1 Grand Final by just 7 points after leading by 21 at quarter time. And the Rucks go at it again. Tapped down by McFadgen. And again, oh, he's pinged him for holding the ball.
Yeah.
Maybe he just wants to get the ball out of there. That looked pretty tough, didn't it?
Not sure that was really there. But St Pat's will take it. Valium can't get there, and that is out of bounds on the full. So good strong comeback this by Old Scotch. We looked at each other at quarter time, and that feeling of this is not going well if you're an Old Scotch supporter, but they've fought back beautifully. Long kick, up they fly, good mark. That is a terrific mark. It's been taken by Swallow. Can't quite get a look at his jumper. It's number 11, is it? Yeah, it's
Lockie Edmonds.
Is it? Lockie Edmonds. Okay. Yeah, I said Swallow and I wasn't totally convinced.
They have the same hairdresser, a lot of these guys, Michael.
Well, it was a good mark anyway. Here he goes, left footer. Awkward looking style. Not going to quite get there. The punch comes from St Pat's defence through Conway, and it's through for a behind.
I think it's modern football. It's a bit different to back in our day. I think the day before the game, everyone goes and gets a haircut.
Yes.
So the mark taken from the kick in there by Patrick Rodman. And it's going to be chopped off though. Jackson Young with the mark. Short pass into the corridor. Punched away. Getting there in the nick of time. No one to kick it to. So Speedsters, off you go on your bike. It's a foot race. Who's going to get there first? Oh, it bounces favourably. Should be a St Pat's goal. It is. Jake Cairns gets the goal for St Pat's. Well, that was like an old high school 100-metre dash. And Jake Cairns, he got the luck of the bounce a little bit as well, but he was under pressure and, well, not a much-needed goal, but just settles St Pat's. They've been dominated. That's their first scoring shot. Took 15 minutes. They move on to 4-3 and have opened up a 2-goal margin over Old Scotch. 2 goals, 3-15.
It just kills you though, doesn't it? I mean, Scotch had all the momentum, and that mistake at half-back by Young, you know, kick it, just bad error to kick to that part of the ground. And then, as you said, Rick, it just developed into a foot race when that long kick went forward. Bounce didn't favour the Scotch defender, and Cairns just pounced on it and said thanks very much, and all of a sudden we're back out to a 2-goal game.
A-grade bounce if you're Cairns, Z-grade if you're Old Scotch. And here's Ballium. They might have got their mojo back a little bit, St Pat's. That handball's going nowhere. Nicely done here by Harper. Harper's kick has been marked. Josh Bellchambers outmanoeuvred them. And it looks like they're going to get another goal inside a minute or two. Bellchambers just used the body. Good kick. Bellchambers drives it home for another one for St Pat's, so they answer to the challenge. So Bellchambers gets his first of the afternoon. It's Tommy Bellchambers' brother, the former Essendon star, and retired in unusual circumstances.
It was unusual circumstances, yeah.
But
old St Pat's boy.
Yeah, well done. Nice pick up, Rick. I've not even going anywhere with not putting anything together with Bellchambers, and when you have a look at him, there are some similarities.
Plenty of people watching as well. Great to old umpiring mate Gary Bass. Good afternoon to you over there in Hoi An with his lovely wife Christine on holidays. So great to have you guys tuning into the live stream with thanks to Duff TV. So a couple of goals for St Pat's restores 3-goal lead for them. Beautiful conditions here in Launceston. It's been a shocking winter, really, hasn't it, Michael? It's just been wet, cold, but certainly not balmy today, but I don't know, around 16 degrees maybe. Perfect for football. Here comes St Pat's again. Might have been a bit of holding almost there to Cairns, and it's been paid.
Crafty work by Cairns. Have a look at this. This is had him by the left arm pinned, and he played that to perfection, didn't he?
Yeah, in soccer terms, that was a professional foul almost, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Here he comes, Jake Cairns. Oh, he might have brought this back nicely. No, it's just drifted over to the left and through from behind. So St Pat's move on to 5-4, leading Old Scotch 2 goals, 3, and we're almost 18.5 minutes played in the second quarter of the Division 2 Grand Final, the NTFA.
Well, Old Scotch were the aggressor early in the quarter. Cairns has given away a 50-metre penalty. And the umpire might just hoist him back another 50.
I think he is.
Well, it was smart play there by this man who's got the ball in Jackman. He ran into the back of Cairns, and have a look at that. He's milked himself an extra 50.
He has. He's deliberately run into him by the looks of the vision.
I reckon he works on a farm somewhere, because he's done some milking before, this bloke. So Jackman, left foot kick is beautifully done, and McFadgen has taken the mark. and he'll kick from about 35 on a slight angle.
Poor reading of the situation, I think, there, Rob, because, you know, he's run 100 metres. He was pretty buggered. He was always going to look to dish it off, and they really didn't fill that hole, did they?
No, they didn't. And I mean, McFadden had a huge height advantage over the guy that's standing him.
It's a matter of accuracy here, and he's failed that subject.
Barely made the distance.
Yeah, he needed to pop that through to really keep them totally interested, because St Pat's have done so well. 5-4-34 to 2-4-16.
So 3-goal margin, almost 20 minutes played, second term. Spills over the top. Here they come again. Oh, gee. No free kick. It's taken pretty high. Now, plenty of time to gather the ball. Easto, look at that beautiful left foot kick. It's just such a beautiful style. He's a talent. It's inside 50 again for Scotch. But we just haven't really... Oh, that might be a high tackle. It is. It's going to be a St Pat's free kick. They probably just haven't received the reward, Rob, for their hard work this quarter. Just a couple of goals to show for it.
No, and you know, a bad mistake that led to a St Pat's goal that gave them the first of 2, and then probably missed a couple of opportunities. So it could be, you know, an under 6 point score.
Big 6 or 7 minutes here for Scotch. They've worked their way back into the contest. They need another one. Here's Miller. Goes out wide, looks for, and just finds his teammate. I think it might be Blizzard out there. He'll come inboard. Mark taken by Young. Left footers always look great, don't they, Michael? Just something about them.
They do.
Out wide, railway wing. Bright sunshine, sparse crowd out there, but a good crowd on side of the ground, the commentary side, Western stand. Plenty of them here. Here he is again.
Easto trying to
he might run around
50
here
for the stand rule, Rick.
Yeah, he doesn't. He goes short, and it's a nice kick. No, Mark dropped. Should have been taken. He got there, and it's going to go back to Easto. Oh, I'll tell you what, that was close to 50.
Yeah. They'll be having a look in the change rooms, I reckon, at half-time, Old Scotch, to see if they've got a couple of other Eastos in the cupboard, I reckon.
So this is where this rule is just, I don't like it, because you could clearly see Easto was going to play on, and it's rushed through by St Pat's 4 behind. So I hope they get rid of it. It's 5-4 to 2-5, 17 points the margin, 22 played in the second quarter.
Got a couple of them out there be looking for their other boots. Some of them have got 2 right boots or 2 left boots on here, because the kicking just hasn't been up to scratch. Here's an opportunity for Bryant, who tried to square that ball up. Was he decked after
free
he
kick down the field?
Yep. So there hasn't been much biffo in this game, as you could describe it, but it's a free kick now, and it's going to Dark. So the vice captain, geez, team needs this. Score doubled at the moment. 17 plays 34. Dark's got to get it left to right. It's not going to hang too far to the left and just drifts away to the right. So 2 goals 6, 18 to 5-4-34. So 8 shots to 9, and the margin is out to 16 points.
8 scoring shots to 3 for Old Scotch's favour in this quarter. They just haven't made it pay on the scoreboard. They'd love another goal just before quarter time. That's a nice kick out wide there. Mark taken by the skipper, Hilda. Plenty of time here for Young. Kicks to a contest. Nice little work there. Should be by Mackenzie. And that's, Mark should have been taken, wasn't, by Matthews. And St Pat's, will they clean up? They get a rushed handball. Good pressure from the Old Scotch forwards. That's what they need. They've got to keep it in there, bottle it up. Time now for Hilda again. Good penetrating kick. Handball does come out. Miller swings onto that right boot. I don't know about that. It just was a contest, wasn't it?
What was it, the unrealistic attempt category, Rick?
Possibly.
Bit of Jack Revolt action.
But it's a free kick to Josh Matthews.
I was saying the other night with those, if you get your hands on them, you're okay. If you don't, you're not.
Yeah.
Oh, the mark. Well, spilt there. Should have been taken. Scotch, can it make them pay? Where's this ball going to go? Because it might bounce all angles. It's near the boundary line. Tidied up there by Williams. Now, this is where you've got to be a bit careful, because you know the siren's not too far away and he's looking to play on. And it's Dark, the vice captain. He's going to have a shot. He'll kick from about 48. And he'll kick it short and very, very nicely. And I've seen that a couple of times, Rob Soward, where that has not been covered, that hole. And very, very well led up the ground there by that man, Charlie Easto.
Yeah, that's really poor defending there from St Pat's, because this guy's had his own ball.
Look at that.
So,
complete passage to run into.
Yeah, absolutely. That's just poor marking.
There was one bloke you were going to cover, it's him.
So there's not much of him, but he's got a chance to kick his third here. He's kicked all of Old Scotch's goals directly in front. 20 out on the siren, kicks a goal, and that's going to lift him. Charlie Easto handled that very well, because it was just before he dropped the ball on his boot the siren went. So half time at UTAS Stadium, and we've got a contest. St Pat's 5-4-34, and as you can see on your screens now, Charlie Easto kicking Old Scotch's, and his third 3-6-24. And well, it's set up now, Rob Soward.
Yeah, it is set up, and that's just a great way for them to finish the quarter. They'll go in at half time really confident about what they brought to that quarter. You both highlighted they were a little bit wasteful in front of goal. St Pat's in turn, they'll have to have a little bit of a think about what they do around the stoppage and what they do about Charlie Easto. I mean, you get the feeling if they put the clamps on him, there's no one else really that's dominating at that level for Scotch. So certainly plenty to think about for both coaches, but what a great game of football in the pinnacle of this division for this year. So 10 points at half time.
Yep, great game, and we're all set for a big second half. We're going to take a little spell, but stick with us. We'll be back in.
A bad effort by the boundary umpire. No one could even get a fingertip on it. A bad effort by the boundary umpire. No one could even get a fingertip on it. Lasky around the body, that might be a goal. We've got our first. Lasky just turned it over the left shoulder, and on the board they go. So a nice start here for St Pat's. They get their first goal, 1 goal straight. 6 to Old Scotch yet to score, Rob.
Sort of out of nothing really, wasn't it, Michael? It was just weight of pressure, you know, getting the ball in the forward half of the ground. But Lasky, very, very clever player around the ball. A good acquisition for him, ex-South Launceston player, and that's a really, really great start. And
good mark there taken because by King, leading goal kicker in the NTFA this year. 61 goals for the season. And, well, dropping a mark he should have taken there was Blizzard for Scotch. So St Pat's with the opportunity. And
good tackling. And that's holding the ball. Lasky again with the tackle. Geez, been prominent. Kick 1 goal 1, and now a forward 50 tackle. Driving, punishing ball, almost hooking it in was Voke. Now he's got to spin back and finds a target and did it nicely.
With another entry into the forward 50. Spills handball there from McFadgen, your man Michael.
Yep, love him.
They're going to come inside again. Now, I'll tell you what, that wasn't Lasky again, was it?
Lasky.
What a start to the game he's had. He's kicked 2 goals. St Pat's have 2. It's going to be a push, and it's going to be a free kick. It's going to go the way of St Pat's, and it's Ethan Conway. Comes across just over the top of Dickenberg. Might have been a bit of holding, but he breaks away nicely. Inside 50. Charles Easto kicks it long. Good mark. Take it in the right forward pocket. And it's going to be the first.
Can play cricket too.
Yes. Yep. Harrison kicks it to the railway side. And here he is, King. He and Lasky have had a great start. Inside 50 again. Rodman, I think this time might bounce through. I think it has. It's bounced through for a goal. St Pat's have got 3. 3-2-20, and they lead Old Scotch yet to score. The game go. And again, they're going to get a breakaway. Oh, that's holding the ball. Great tackle. Well played there by Alex McKenzie in the helmet. Whistle goes, but play on. And the mark taken by Bryant.
Bryant sits it up high. Well, roving it and doing it beautifully was Eastoe. Eastoe pulled the kick. What a kick! That is really classy from Charlie Eastoe, and found his man and hit him on the chest, Clay Ritchie. And this is superb. Have a look.
Gosh, it's good, isn't
how
it?
he made the decision. It's a bit of a wind up and then spews it out to the right. Big fist in the middle of that. There might be a chance here. Eastoe round the body. Good kick. Got a goal. One of the classiest players on the field, Charlie Eastoe, knew exactly what he was doing. And Scotch get their first goal at the 7-minute mark of the second term.
To say that was importance and understatement, guys. He's been really, really good today, Charlie Eastoe. Obviously their best player by far, but he needs to find some mates. You know, we talked about some names there. Mackenzie, Swallow, Dark, term, and very much something out of the WWE channel, that one.
Yeah.
It was, it's silly. And he's not the biggest guy out there, Charlie Eastoe, but he certainly plays with a massive heart.
He does. So he's got a chance to kick 2 in a couple of minutes and put Old Scotch right back in it. Slight angle, 30 out. Charlie Eastoe moves in deliberately. Nice looking kick. Goal umpire doesn't move. Goal to Old Scotch. They're right back in it. Margin down to 7 points. Scotch haven't scored. St Pat's haven't scored in the opening 9.5 minutes. Old Scotch have banged on 2-2. Margin 7, Rob.
Yeah, it's exactly the start we talked about, both off air and at the start of this quarter, that Old Scotch need. They're starting to assert their dominance in and around the footy. They're being a little bit better with their forward entries. I mean, I'd go as far to say if they can tidy those forward entries up and maintain that dominance around the ball, St Pat's are going to have to think about what they do to counteract that.
I think the move has been that Eastoe's gone a little deeper. We know he's a goal kicker, and then we'll just rely on John McKenzie, Swallow, and get their hands on the footy and try and get some deep entry, and he'll do the finishing for us. So
getting there in the nick of time. No one to kick it to. So Speetzers, off you go on your bike. It's a foot race. Who's going to get there first? Oh, it bounces favourably. Should be a St Pat's goal. It is. Jake Cairns gets the goal for St Pat's. Well, that was like an old high school 100-metre dash. And Jake Cairns, he got the luck of the bounce a little bit as well, but he was under pressure and, well, not a much-needed goal, but just settles St Pat's. They've been dominated. That's their first scoring shot. Took 50 to mark. Short pass into the corridor. Punched away. Getting there in the nick of time. No one to kick it to. So Speetzers, off you go on your bike. It's a foot race. Who's going to get there first? Oh, it bounces favourably. Should be a St Pat's goal. It is. Jake Cairns gets the goal for St Pat's. Well, that was like an old high school 100-metre dash. And Jake Cairns, he got the luck of the bounce a little bit as well, but he was under pressure and, well, not a much-needed goal, but just settles St Pat's. They've been dominated. That's their first scoring shot. Took 15 minutes. They move on to 4-3 and have opened up a 2-goal margin over Old Scotch. 2 goals, 3-15.
It just kills you, though, doesn't it? I mean, Scotch had all the momentum, and that mistake at half-back by Young, you know, kick it, just bad error. It's kicked to that part of the ground, and then, as you said, Rick, it just developed into a foot race when that long kick went forward. Bounce didn't favour the Scotch defender, and Cairns just pounced on it and said thanks very much, and all of a sudden we're back out to a 2-goal game.
A-grade bounce if you're Cairns, Z-grade if you're Old Scotch. And here's Ballium. They might have got their mojo back a little bit, St Pat's. That handball's going nowhere. Nicely done here by Harper. Harper's kick has been marked. Josh Bellchambers outmanoeuvred them. And it looks like they're going to get another goal inside a minute or two. Bellchambers just used the body. Good kick. Bellchambers drives it home for another one for St Pat.
And it's Dark, the vice captain. He's going to have a shot. He'll kick from about 48. And he'll kick it short and very, very nicely. And I've seen that a couple of times, Rob Soward, where that has not been covered, that hole. And very, very well led up the ground there by that man, Charlie Easto.
Yeah, that's really poor defending there from St Pat's, because this guy's had his own ball.
Look at that,
So,
complete passage to run into.
yeah, absolutely. That's just poor marking.
There was one bloke you were going to cover, it's him.
So there's not much of him, but he's got a chance to kick his third here. He's kicked all of Old Scotch's goals directly in front. 20 out on the side, kicks a goal, and that's going to lift him. Charlie Easto handled that very well. Welcome back to UTAS Stadium. We're almost set for the second half here on a beautiful, glorious spring afternoon in Launceston. So many people watching the live stream as well. I can tell you the crowd here today, well, on the gate, they have taken about $11,000, $12,000 more on the gate this year than last year's grand final. So Michael Maney and Rob Soward, we've called it, I mean, the atmosphere is great, but a terrific crowd for this Division 1 grand final.
It is, and it's great to see locals come out and support locals. So, you know, what a fantastic spectacle. All three games, and this game to half time, obviously, it's all there.
It is indeed. I'll give you a little shout out to my old mate Johnny Downey, who's flicked a message through. He's watching in Bali. These people that are going overseas now, tell you what, what's a holiday?
Exactly.
Here we go, third quarter. Michael Maney's going to get us underway.
Ruckman go at it. Kilby reached over the top and did it nicely. And there's a nice little double sling there by Jonty Swallow and King. Kilby just said, enough of this mess. I'm just going to knock it. Away they go through Lockie Edmonds, who had a shot for goal in that last term and couldn't quite get the chocolates. Boundary throw in. Alex Ritchie Hazelwood, called him too much for Old Scotch. 10 points the margin. Old Scotch doing enough, outscoring St Pat's by 11 points in that second term to give themselves a bit of a chance in the second half. Handball comes out nicely, taken by Conway. Bouncing ball, Lasky got one high. Well, knows how to milk them, Lasky, and he's got a bit of class by foot right across the face, unusually. Little handball comes back in. Nathan Barry was there. Ball's just out into what you can clearly see is vacant turf. They close in on it now. Little handball, just attempted handball to go forward there by Alex McKenzie, and it rolls out of play.
I was just watching too. William Vandenberg from St Pat's has gone to Charlie Eastoe in a hard tag. So we'll see how that unfolds.
Yes, you've got to be fleet of foot if you want to get your little Charlie.
Boundary throw in. Tapped down by Kilby. Shovelled forward. Chance for number 61, Jai Ballum. And it trickles over the line. Earlier today, South Launceston winning the women's grand final, and with that also moving up to the Premier Division next year. And Old Launcestonians in a thriller over St Pat's in the reserves. We can tell you in the Premier Division, Bridgenorth defeated Georgetown by 14 points in the prelim for the under-18s, and OL's defeated Old Scotch in a thriller in the women's by just 4 points. They'll take on Launceston in the grand final. Hopefully some scores through shortly from the men's prelim final between Rochalee and Bracknell, the winner, to face Longford next Saturday here. Oh, that's a very ordinary throw-up by the umpire. The ruckman didn't even get to it. And that's a shove in the back. Johnny Swallow didn't like it.
Is it in the back or a sling tackle? If it was a sling tackle, I think this game's going nowhere overall. King
takes the free kick, kicks it to half forward. Inside 50. Handball comes out from Cairns. And they've started promisingly here. Scrubbed forward by Harper. Chance now for Miller. It's been pretty good back there for Scotch. And that ball is going nowhere, and we'll have a ball up. So 3 minutes played. No score yet in this term. St Pat's leading by 10 points. Quick handball by McFadgen. Finds a teammate. Now they got some space here on the railway side. Further handball comes forward. And they're going to come inside 50. Scotch, can they get a mark? No, they can't. Bypasses everyone. Eventually grabbed by Martin. Handball out. And McKenzie might have been held. He was. And he's going to kick from directly in front and only about 40 out.
Well, they know the danger of McKenzie, don't they?
Yeah, he's a guy who's, I think, ex-Tassie Mariner, played in Victoria, class player.
So, John McKenzie directly in front will kick from about 40 at the 4 minute mark of the third term. Let's hear the reaction from the Scotch supporters. Kicks on its way. And it drifts to the right of the goalpost. So another behind for Old Scotch. They're 3-7-25. They trail by 9. St Pat's 5-4-34, 4.5 minutes third term.
Brad Dickenberg, who's probably never ever played in the ruck, to do the kicking out. With the helmet on. Out he goes. Oh, that's got to be a free kick. Yep. A little high. Free kick going to Kyle Harper. And Harper's just trying to gather his self a bit. A little bit shaken, just flipped over on his back there. Goes in short. Dickenberg can't take it. Here's an opportunity for Scotch. Short little chipping ball. Just didn't work. And the intercept mark taken by Hilda. Read it well. They missed an opportunity there, Scotch. Liam Brown's got it at half back for St Pat's. Kicks it long. Plenty of numbers here. Edmonds just running in front. Couldn't take the mark. In fact, it wasn't Edmonds. It was one of his teammates there, and number 22 in Krushka, Jasper.
They're the ones that just can come back and haunt you. Like that's almost a certain goal there. If Dark hits that target,
he just had to go for it. Cairns, left footer, bouncing ball. Kilby, nice little pirouette from the big man. Excuse me. Says, I can't get rid of it. So he just dribbled down his jumper. Short kick is okay. And John McKenzie, another little short kick to Dark.
So Dark with the ball. Well, apart from that opening onslaught of St Pat's kicking the first 3 goals pretty quickly, it's been very even. And but that early damage, well, is that going to be an impact at the end of this game? Kick from James. 2-on-1 for St Pat's, but great work, great pressure there from Old Scotch to hold the ball up. And we're going to get a ball up. Good contest there between King, and terrific work there by Aidan Jackman of Old Scotch. He was outnumbered 2-1 and held it in there for a ball up. Centre wing position. Kicked forward by King, who's been busy early in this quarter. They'll come out wide. Nice kick on the bounce. Can he grab it? He can. Easto has been terrific. Certainly the best player so far for Old Scotch, I would think. 55 out. Good strong tackle there by Claridge. And Rob Soward just seems to have lifted a little in intensity in these opening 7 minutes.
It certainly has, and I can see Vandenberg's given Easto what for after he got rid of that ball. So that hard tag really important. But you're right, Rick, the intensity has really lifted in the premiership quarter.
Nicely picked up by Miller. Leading the race for the ball was Swallow, the captain. Lovely handball. Here they come. Inside 50, 1-on-1 contest leading the way. Mark couldn't quite be taken. Desperate defence. Chris Hay gets it out and eventually kicked clear by Harper in the centre of the ground. Now a chance. This time for Barry. He kicks it inside 50 and it's going to be Pearl. It's Voke getting it. The kick will come into the centre of the ground. A nice one. And De Boer gets a kick teammate there. They're on the outer side of the ground, railway side of the ground. Scoreboard showing St Pat's leading the way. 9 points. That's a really good, strong mark there. And De Boer that time inside 50. Oh, and here's a chance now. Martin gets it out wide on the left. Jackman. And it's through for another behind to Old Scotch. Well, they're threatening here. As I said, apart from that first 3 goals of St Pat's in a hurry, you'd have to say Old Scotch have probably been on top of the play, and now 11 scoring shots to 9.
Dickenberg now. Short little ball. Finds Brown. Brown goes out wide. Plenty of numbers here for St Pat's. Flicking away was Perkins, but that kick chopped off. Mark taken by Alex McKenzie. Our man Jasper couldn't quite get there. Conway's handball is released nicely to Barry. Barry's got the line, and Lasky. Now Lasky can weave magic. Can he get this goal? It's a wonderful looking kick, not far away. And a behind. He looks Mr. Dangerous, doesn't he?
Oh, he is. He's very, very clever, Jake Lasky. I guess for mine, the next goal is really critical in this contest. If Scotch get it, obviously it's reflective of the work that they've done this quarter. If St Pat's get it all of a sudden, you know, the momentum's not been with them, you know, they're nearly 20 points up.
Matthews with a poor kick, cut off there by Harrison. Oh, and that's got to be a free kick for too high. Easy decision there for the umpire. And I think it's might be Cairns is going to take it. I just spotted Ethan Conway in the centre of the ground just before that kick in after the behind. He was down with cramp. Fitness is going to be a key. This is a huge ground that these players would not be familiar with. It's a warmish day, and fitness, if it stays tight, could be a massive key. And it's a 50-metre penalty as well after that incident. And certain goal coming up here for St Pat's to Jake Cairns. He's already got one this afternoon, and he'll kick from well, a metre out, straight in front. Goal to St Pat's. They move on to 6-5-41, open up a 15-point lead, 3-8-26, and for all their attacking in 10.5 minutes, St Pat's have increased their lead.
Really hurt you. We talked early in the game about Scotch not being as direct as they should be going inside 50, and we did find that there was something very, very similar in the last couple of passages of play. Again, just not the right kick at the right time. So they've really got to tidy that up, and that's where Easto was really, really good for them. And as I said, he's the subject now of a pretty hard tag. So we'll see what the Scotch Oakburn coaching panel do to break that one.
It's a lot harder to get a football these days, and back in the old days when the poplar trees were down the bottom end, Rob, and you could, when they kicked a goal, you could race away with a Sharon.
Absolutely.
But Cairns has given the kids every chance if they're over the back there and they've got the patience. Here we go through Bellchambers. Bellchambers, standing start. High kick to the square. Who's doing the crumbing? Lasky, high handball. Ballium, goal. Oh, St Pat's are popping the question right now. And they get another goal. And Jai Ballium, he joins the party, gets his first. And all of a sudden, that lead is stretching out.
It's a pretty smart goal from him too. I mean, he's, from memory, a premiership player with Hillwood in the now Premier Division a couple of years ago. Chop out in the ruck, but that's really clever play once that hit the deck, and he just pounced on that.
Well, his opponent got drawn into the contest and just left him on the outside perimeter, and he popped through a really good goal. So Rick Fontyn, it's game on here. If you're a Scotch, you need to do something, and out of the centre they come.
They do. You can see the St Pat's fans there just on the screen as the play top underway once again. Tommy Hilda, the skipper. Ball comes out. It's been good this quarter too. There's Jacob Perkins for St Pat's. And gee, did that absolutely beautifully to Jay King. Delivers it inside 50 to a contest. 40 out from goal. They're coming forward again. They've lifted. McFadgen kicks it out into no man's land. It's going to come straight back. Here's Harrison, and he'll go short and settle it down. Finds his teammate in Kilby, the ruckman. Been very good for St Pat's. He'll kick it towards that forward pocket. Mark taken. Good defensive mark there for Old Scotch in the last line of defence. 10 metres out from there. Behind post. It'll come out. That's a poor kick though. It's going to come back again. Cutting it off, King. Sorry, it's Harrison. The diminutive. Callum Harrison kicks it. And, well, that's, again, the hold not field. And pretty easy work there for Jai Ballium. Dishes off the handball. Shot at goal. And it's off to the right by King for a behind. The association's leading goal kicker for season 2022 in Division 1.
Look at the inside 50s, Rick. 10-3 in favour of St Pat's. It's coming back again. Here's King. Had a little cider and he's missed that one. So one to the right, one to the left. Don't give him another look shortly.
No.
He might just nail the next.
He's come forward a little bit more, hasn't he? Started sort of in defence a little bit there in the early stages of the game, but he's been playing very well. And the ruckman can't quite chase him down there, and that's a nice kick mark, not taken. Here's Vandenberg. Oh, he's caught in the middle there, meeting the sandwich. And should be a ball up it is. Centre wing position, railway side of the ground. St Pat's, the last couple, 7-7. 23-point margin all of a sudden over Old Scotch, 3-8. And we've been playing almost 15 minutes in the third quarter. That's really well done. Keeping his feet too. Ballum taps it, tries to get a decent bounce, be able to pick it up. He can't, and eventually it rolls out of bounds.
It's like putting a jigsaw puzzle together there.
It was.
Ballum, wasn't it?
But he held his feet. Now we've got a bit of a problem here. Didn't quite see what happened there, but
Looked like just a fair contest, and he's obviously bumped Ballum on the wrong angle, I'd say.
so it's just happening just off the ball, but trainers are running off the ground, so it all seems good, Michael Maney.
Yeah, and that little boundary umpire out there is going to get a bit more practice. He's not got not much of him.
No, congratulations to the umps. It's also a big day for them, getting the grand finals, and I've got to say they're doing a very good job this afternoon as well. They've been letting the game go.
No complaints from the commentators too, and that's interesting. Rodman kicks high and ball spills over the line for another boundary throw-in.
Yeah, the umpires Crack, Fry and Tonnelly officiating in the middle. We've got Anderson, Allen, Gale and Shepherd on the boundary, and Lee and Andrew Fitz in the goals.
Spoken
officiating.
like an old whistleblower.
Yes. Got to acknowledge him.
Here's Lasky. Bellchambers. The tap down was exceptional, but the kick from Lasky was off target. He's nailing those earlier in the game, but St Pat's pushing and pushing hard here. They lost the second term by 11 points. They're going to be way up in this term because they put the foot down, and Old Scotch have got to find something.
They really do have to find something. I mean, we're at the 16-minute mark of the third quarter. Old Scotch are down by 4 goals. Given that they've only kicked 3 goals in nearly 3 and a bit quarters of footy, they just need a couple of quick ones. They really, really do.
They do. But as Michael Maney called, they've certainly lifted St Pat's in the last 6 or 7 minutes. And they've got a chance here through Vandenberg, who just bangs it onto the right foot, kicks it inside 50. Plenty of players around the ball, and it's going to beat them all. And Nathan Barry there not able to keep it in play for St Pat's in front of their supporter base there in the Carlton draft stand. And we're seeing a very good contest, and St Pat's, well, they're looking good at the minute. 4-goal lead. Handball comes out there from Walsh and banged inside 50 by that man Perkins. He's had a good third term. Yeah, he's finally picked up the ball there. It was McFadgen. He's been besieged upon. De Boer. And the handball comes clear. Now, chance to build a little bit of space here for Old Scotch to build. The kick, well, it's to a contest, but that's very nicely marked there by your mate, Michael Maney. Jasper.
Yep. Jasper, love him.
Now, here's Mackenzie. That's John. Comes across, and he just read it in time, didn't he? Jax Young kicks from 49 metres. It's to the left and through for 1 behind. So plenty of behinds. They're 3-9. Scotch. St Pat's is 7-8-50. So it's a 23-point margin, and we're approaching time on third quarter.
Would have been good reward if they'd have got that, because St Pat's were doing all the attacking. Bellchambers from half back, floating in and taking the mark. Nicely done there was by Hazelwood. So Hazelwood cuts into the middle of the ground. He's got a runner, and he can go. A little short kick. Oh, mown down. Excellent play. Beautifully done there by James, and gives it off to his teammate, who just dribbles it inside 50. Little spinning pirouette. Goes around. That was Voke. Now straightening up and having a shot for goal was Julian James, and kicks it out of bounds on the full.
It's been a tale, I think, of, I'm just looking at the inside 50s, 14-4 St Pat's way, but it's just been a tale of Scotch's day today. Skill errors that turn the ball over.
Well, that one's floating out of play as well. It'll be a free kick to St Pat's.
Speaking of skill errors, Rob, out on the full from a kick. So they'll set up again for another inside 50. St Pat's short to half forward. In front, Mark, not juggled, spilt. That was Claridge. And Scotch will come away. Desperately need a goal in these last 6 or 7 minutes of the third term to try and arrest this momentum that St Pat's have got. Certainly over the last 10 or so minutes. They lead it by 23. 20 minutes gone. We see cramp. A couple of players starting to feel the impact of a mild day. And a big ground and a wide one. So here's Swallow for Scotch now. Handball over the top. It's not a good one. Jake King cuts it off. And, well, they won't be replaying these last couple of minutes. There's been a lot of skill errors.
Yes, it's a big ground. And
certainly starting to feel it. You can see it physically, the players. Been playing in bright sunshine all afternoon. And creating a bit of space. There's Ryan Sheriff. He goes short. And it might have been a push. Yeah. There's an opportunity for the umpire to let that one go there. It was an advantage for Scotch, but called back. And that's a good kick. And that's a nice mark taken over there by Jacob Martin in front of the St Pat's captain.
I reckon they've got to be trying to get Easto on the ball in the last quarter.
Martin 60 out, sets it up to about 30 out from goal. Well, Mark spilt there in defence. The old heave-ho hand pass over the top. Sees two Old Scotch players there. Shot at goal coming up. And tell you what, it was close. Just off for one behind, another behind. 3-10 now, Old Scotch. St Pat's 7-8, 22 points the margin. 21 and a half played.
13 shots to 15, and 3-10's not acceptable. Dickenberg over the top of him, and Johnny McKenzie slips in. Thought about a little short pass, but go back and kick the goal, because it will be big if you can do it. He's got class, this man, and if they've got any chance at all, you just think he's got to kick this. From 45, it's pushed away to the right. 3-11, 29 to 7-8-50. Chances are going begging.
Williams with the kicking in duties. It's going to come in again. And he's got it. It's that man Martin again. He goes short and pays off. Nice mark there taken by the skipper. Jonty Swallow under plenty of pressure from Jake King. He did well, stood his ground. Well, if ever they needed a captain's goal, it's going to test him for distance. He's going back a long way, almost the Benny Brown run up here. For Jonty Swallow, he'll kick just inside 50. Has he got the distance? He swings around. Umpire says play on. It's tight, it's drifting. Oh, it's knocked back into the square there. They haven't got the crummers. And he's going to be pinged for holding the ball. St Pat's free kick in the last line of defence. 23 minutes played now, third term. Umpire eventually calls play on. Oh, it's smothered. Luck's a fortune though. It lands with Harrison, who kicks it out off hands, and it's out of bounds. Railway side of UTAS Stadium.
I reckon if Old Scotch don't win this, somewhere in the review they'll look at the third quarter and look at the wasted opportunities. They've had 3 inside 50s there and come away with 2 behinds and something that was a free kick paid the other way.
Special comments from Rob Soward here at the Division 1 Senior Grand Final. Duggan pinned in. Just
need a goal. And whistle sounds. Now something spotted off the ball, and it's going to be a free kick all the way 50 metres up the ground. And they've had a bit of a go, these two, this afternoon, haven't they?
Yeah,
Vandenberg and Eastoe.
Had hold of him.
And Eastoe, well, remarkably, similar situation as we saw earlier in the game. Close to siren time. Will kick from about 50. And it's the advantage of having the third umpire. Eastoe, tell you what, it's a good kick off the boot, but it's away to the right. And yet another behind. So they've kicked, what do they kick this quarter? 6 behinds. 3-12-30. And St Pat's, they lead by 20, 7-8-50, deep in the third quarter.
Kicking with tired legs too, and that certainly does affect you. So from halfback Harper, bit of an end for ender. Cairns couldn't take it. Through the hands. It was a nightmare hand ball by Duggan. Sold his teammate into all sorts. Goes back into, see if he can get it back, but nothing doing. But a bit of that going on. I noticed Dickenberg there with the helmet on. He was cramping up a few minutes ago. Now he's just getting some work on those legs. Quick little kick, almost the mark. And that was Joshua Matthews. And took a few blows there, Josh Matthews, close to the line. And now things are changing. Well, with Matthews to get the free.
Callum Harrison lucky to not give away a 50 there. He gave a nice little tap into the stomach of Matthews. Inside 50. Here's a chance now for Scott through Bryant. Kicks it towards the teeth of goal. Eastoe just couldn't quite get possession. Good enough to get. Oh, he's taken high. Free kick.
Yeah, that's dangerous too.
To say this is the most important kick in the game would be an understatement.
He's getting a bit of treatment. That was accidental, no doubt about it, but free kick was there, and he's a little groggy, Charlie Eastoe. He needs to use up his full 30 seconds here, because there's not much time left in this quarter. You wouldn't think. They played 26.5 minutes.
Can you have double deja vu, Rick?
I can see Nathan Bester, our timekeeper there. He's probably got his hand on it. Oh, it would be theatrical, wouldn't it? Here's Eastoe. Important kick, 45-degree angle. Was missed. Anti-climax, 3-13-31, 7-8-50. St Pat's, they lead it by 19 points.
Well, if Eastoe can't kick them, where they're going to go next? Mark taken by Perkins. Shouldn't be too long to go in this quarter. Perkins just elevates the football to a very high level. Little handball. Fadgen was in there, and a free kick for too high is going to Jackman. Kick just falls over the back, and Vandenberg was there to mop it up and then takes his time and gets it away to Callum Harrison. But it is three-quarter time in the grand final, and St Pat's 7-8-50 lead Old Scotch 3-13-31. Goal scorers for St Pat's. We've got 2 to Lasky, 2 to Cairns, and then singles to Rodman, Bellchambers and Ballium. And for Old Scotch, Charlie Eastoe, the man, he has kicked all 3 goals for Old Scotch in the second quarter. Goalless in the first, Old Scotch, and goalless in the third. And Eastoe's got 3 goals for them. 7-8-50 plays 3-13-31. Rob Soward, your coach of Old Scotch. What can you do?
What I'd probably do is I'd probably try and isolate Eastoe if I can. It will pull him, maybe even pull him up to the ball, because what we want to try and do is break that tag. And Vandenberg isn't the sort of tagger, I don't think, that would run with him in an on-ball role. He's quite happy with him camped inside 50. So often, as you'd know, we break a tag, you poke him to the goal square. Well, Vandenberg would be right at home there, put him up around the footy, make him run with him. Eastoe's really, really clever. But I guess the other thing too, they've just got to take their opportunities, Michael. I mean, you know, you say, I think we've said 7 behinds that quarter. Even if they kick 3 of those, they're in front. So they'd certainly be talking their chances up at 3/4 time. But Charlie Eastoe critical, maybe get him up onto the footy. You could probably also say, then who do you kick to? Because other than him, they haven't had a goal scorer. So from a St Pat's viewpoint, I think they just want more of the same. Their application, their transition of the ball out of the back half, other than probably the last 7 or 8 minutes, has been pretty good. So it's all in front of Old Scotch at the moment. I mean, you kick 3 goals to 3/4 time. You need maybe 5 in the last quarter. It's a big ask, but they'd be confident. They really lifted their game in the latter part of that 3rd quarter.
16 shots to 15 in favour of Old Scotch, and they trail by 19 points. It's an indictment, really, on their kicking, but you just sort of feel that St Pat's have had the game under control for most of it. 3/4 time here at UTAS Stadium with courtesy of Duff TV. St Patrick's College 7-8-50 lead Old Scotch 3-13-31. Back with the final quarter very soon.
Welcome back. Final quarter about to get underway in bright sunshine at UTAS Stadium. Spectacular afternoon for football, and we've seen 2 great grand finals, and this 3rd one, is it going to be a thriller? We're about to find out as Michael Maney gets us underway.
Old Scotch, like the boy with the barra. He's got the job ahead of him. Amazing. Swallow with a kick off the ground. Jackman overran it. The tackle came in and St Pat's player didn't even have the footy. So I don't know what you'd be complaining about. Well, there, Julian James with the free kick. So St Pat's will be happy to make this a clearance quarter. Just a clearance after clearance and stoppage after stoppage. As Kyle Harper lays on, goes long, big pack, Lasky in the middle of that. He's always clever at the back of the pack, Lasky. And coming in with a nice hip and shoulder there was Braden Claridge for St Pat's. I think maybe a quick goal here might just nail Old Scotch. Handball over the top by Harrison. Good tackle by Swallow. Been pretty good for them, Swallow, today. Need all their best players to get involved in this final term. Kilby just took it out of the ruck, then lost possession and has dropped it like Grandma's old hot scone. Here's Swallow. Now they're going to go in short and chopped off. Nicely done by Conway.
Been good.
Yeah, stands in the middle of UTAS Stadium.
Ethan Conway kicks it high, inside 50 to about 30 out. One grab, not the second. Handball comes out wide. Oh, luck of the green there, going the way of Scotch. Oh, taken high. Play on, says the umpire. Well, he was on the wrong side, I must admit. And Conway now, all of a sudden, there's a bit of space. Luck's of fortune with the kick. It might favour the big ruckman Kilby. Doesn't. McKenzie. Nice handball out wide, and they'll come through the corridor. They need to take some risks, but Vandenberg's going to cut it off. And slows it down. He'll come out wide. And St Pat's will build again. Over the top with the sit. Oh, well played in defence there. Nice mark by Alex McKenzie. Gets a handball out under a lot of pressure. Coming in high almost. And that ball's not going to come out, and we'll get a ball up.
I think Conway got one where David Lloyd got one from Jeff Thompson going back a good while ago. And sort of bent him over. And he's still...
he is.
Kick away. No mark.
The thing that Old Scotch have got to remember is they don't need to kick 5 goals in 5 minutes. And we've just seen in that passage of play there, they want to move it forward at all costs, but they're just kicking it blindly. They just need to be a bit smarter with their ball use.
Rodman. Been pretty consistent over the day too, Rodman. Chance for Vogue. Long kick inside 50. Miller on hands and knees. Tried to funnel it out to his teammate, but Harrison was in there. And that might be a free kick for holding the ball. Well, I think maybe the umpire that wasn't officiating...
it was a very slow decision. In fact, it's gone the other way. A little confused.
I'm thinking that the umpire wasn't officiating, blew the whistle, and then the umpire officiating thought it was dropping the ball, but the decision from the unofficiating umpire wasn't. Here's a go here for Scotch to go forward through Bryant. Bryant's kick looking for Martin. Martin couldn't take it. Beautifully done by Brown. Now Martin ends up with it. He's going to have a shot. He's going to kick it to the square. Ball still alive, close to the line, and it hits the deck. Just crawled over by Hay, and a boundary throw in.
There's just not a lot of room for error now for Old Scotch. You know, every time the ball's up in this inside their 50, they need a goal. They've got to make good decisions.
No big clunking forward for Old Scotch. If they had one, things may be different. Valium. Cairns threw it out in the end. High kick, close to the line. It'll bounce there. And another ball up. So not much change to, no change to the three-quarter time score, and we've gone 5 minutes, Rick Fontyn.
We have. I'll tell you what, they will believe, though, Old Scotch. They were 3 goals down with about 6 minutes to go in the preliminary final last week against Lilydale, and got over the line very late in that game. So, while there's life, there's hope. They're 19 points down. They absolutely need the first goal. They're going to go inside 50. Here's an opportunity, swinging on the right boot. It swings too far. That was Connor Bryant, and it's through for yet another behind.
Yes, they're going to watch this stream and count them, I reckon. Old Scotch.
3 goals, 14, 17 scoring shots to 15, but they trail by 3 goals to Old Scotch. Plenty of time, just under 6 minutes played. And in these conditions, and well, that almost looked like a high tackle, not paid. Swinging onto the left is Claridge for St Pat's. And they've got some numbers here. And they'll build inside 50 again, kicking to a contest. 2-on-1, favouring Old Scotch. Ball falls. Swallow is there for Old Scotch. And we're going to get a ball up about 35 metres out from the St Pat's goal. They're kicking to the city end. And, well, now there's been a free kick. He signalled for... Definitely signalled for a ball up there.
Yeah, I saw what happened there. So what happened was Swallow came in, and in fact Lasky came in just a couple of seconds before that replay, and appeared to make contact with Lasky, and the umpire didn't see it. Then Swallow verbally gave it to Lasky, and then Lasky got the free kick, and now they've got a 50.
Well, certain goal, and this is going to make it very, very difficult. No one on the mark. Easy goal. Jacob Lasky has his 3rd, and it's just starting to unravel a little bit here. 24 points the margin. St Pat's 8-8-56. Old Scotch 3-14-32. We'll see the replay here.
Now here we go. You watch.
So ball up.
There you go.
Oh, the headbutt.
Yep. And then Swallow thought, what in the hell are you doing? Gave it to Lasky, and then Lasky gets a free kick against him, then a 50-metre penalty, and Swallow's the victim.
That is a very average decision. That is a very average decision. There was no verbals pointed towards the umpire then whatsoever. It was between Swallow and Lasky. Just ball it up, in my opinion.
Yeah, and who knows what was said. That's spoken from an ex-umpire too, Rick Fontyn. Very, very hard to work that out. That was a crucial time of the game. Here's Bryant. So Bryant now, little handball away. Swallow, can he make amends? His kick has just got a lot of hook on it and goes through for another behind. On world record pace they are, Old Scotch.
They're not going to get him in ones, unfortunately, are they?
No. They've got to hit some boundaries, Rob, don't they?
They certainly do.
So kick in. St Pat's, they bring it out. That's a good strong mark there over the back by Ballum. Had a good second half, Jai Ballum. One grab, not the second. Ball spills. That should be a holding the man decision. And a good decision, and it'll be a free kick going the way of Ethan Conway. He's had plenty of it.
He's settled down in the nether regions too.
Yes. 8.5 minutes. St Pat's by 23 points to 50. That's a good defensive, strong mark there, taken by Richie Hazelwood. They really got to take some risks. Finger coming in there from Lasky. Look out, tackle, ducked his head, play on, good decision. And holding the ball. Definitely ducked. And a bit of a left shoulder problem here.
Yep. That's gone.
And Lasky's down as well. Gee, that was a good tackle. And he's in a bit of strife. Meanwhile, play goes on. Kicked forward by Dark. That's a really good mark. Been impressed with Jacob Martin this afternoon. Probably been there, along with Easto, their best forward. Easto with all of the goals. All 3. That's a terrific mark taken in defence for St Pat's by Liam Brown.
Yep, very good overhead mark from him. Nice little bounce for Harper. And a free kick going to St Pat's. It's going to Voke. or Vok, from whatever part of the world you come from. Maybe from the Netherlands, Vok, would you say?
Yeah, no, definitely. If he's a Dutchie, it's Vok.
Yeah, excellent. Here's King. Ball on a string. Miller makes the mark and chips a dangerous ball inside. Gee, they're hot on that holding the ball. Just basically had it in his fingertips for a second and a half. Not even that.
A lot of free kicks this quarter.
Yeah. Lasky's been a bit battered.
Been in amongst most of it, hasn't he?
He has. He's a goal kicker, so he's not going to let Dickenberg take his kick.
He won't let him anywhere near that, I don't think, Michael.
Here he goes in short, and that's just, I guess, letting things go. And Callum Harrison takes the mark.
A few hands on hips now for Old Scotch as well. Rob, you pointed out 3 goals for the match for 23 down, and damage might get a little worse very shortly.
Harrison. He's pushed it to the right, and I don't think there's a wild breeze blowing from that way. But another behind to St Pat's, but they've kicked more behinds than they've kicked goals today too. So what have we got? 11 goals, 24. So here we go. Mark taken by Young.
So Young, Jackson Young for Old Scotch, kicks into the man on the mark. It's that man Conway again, and out of bounds. They want deliberate, but they won't get it. Ball in. Pleading for that decision was Charlie Eastoe, the vice captain. About 70 out from the St Pat's goal. They're kicking to the city end. Late afternoon sunshine bathing UTAS Stadium, and stopped the ball there. Going down was Jasper Krushka, and he didn't like it, and he and Conway having a bit of a how do you do. Not much in it though, and it's getting a bit willing, and frustrations maybe starting to boil a little bit deep into this game. Chance now for Rodman. Kicked forward, Ballum, and it'll trickle out of bounds. Boundary throw in. 10 metres around from the St Pat's goal. They lead by 24 points. Almost 13 minutes played in the final term. Thrown into flat throw from the boundary umpire. They've done a great job, these young boundaries. Tough conditions, warmish, bright sunshine, and a big ground. So good to have NTFA football being played at the home of football here at UTAS Stadium this afternoon. Big thanks to our major partners of the NTFA, of course, Bogues, who've been around for nearly 40 years sponsoring the NTFA. As they break away now through Richie Hazelwood. Out wide finds Young. And oof, gee. Krushka almost taken down. Bounces over the top. They've stood tall, haven't they, in defence this afternoon. That was Julian James who takes the mark. Quick to play on. Mark taken here by Dickenberg. Dickenberg slows it down. And from a St Pat's point of view, why not Michael Maney?
Exactly. Like a fine wine. The Dickenberg wines from overseas.
Good wine, is it?
Well, he's played all right too, Dickenberg.
They've certainly battled well, you know, Scotch, but I think when they do their review, you know, there's certainly been the effort and the intent's been there, but just the wasted opportunities. And St Pat's have also scored on their mistakes. So, you know, one that got away maybe for them, guys.
Yes, they've just not got enough out of a few of their real guns in John McKenzie, etc. They've flashed in and flashed out, but haven't really been able to put together 4 quarters. High ball, no one can take the mark. In they go. And that was Tom Johns for Scotch. High kick. Oh, sandwich. Big sandwich in there. And the meat was Voke. Eastoe, good kick. Never misses a target, Eastoe. Kick down the line. Martin always flying. My man Jasper's got the handball away. Krushka. Time running out for Scotch. This sort of stuff will just play into the hands of St Pat's. The more stoppages we get, that time will just soak up.
I just mentioned too the guy that came off with a shoulder. We haven't seen him again, Jimmy De Boer. I thought he battled really well for Scotch today, but hopefully that shoulder's okay. But certainly a nasty knock for him.
Krushka got the kick away. Ball just heads to the pocket. So the ball in. St Pat's fans eagerly awaiting the next 5 to 6 minutes to see whether there'll be an Old Scotch revival. They'll be hoping there won't be. Ball hits the deck. Vandenberg high. My man McFadden couldn't take it. Now St Pat's. A nice bit of open space, Rick.
Yes, is, and here comes Krushka with a tackle. Claridge, actually, it was. It was a great tackle. I got excited, thought it was your man for a moment, Michael.
Yep.
But that was a great chase from Braden Claridge. Good tackle, and always good to see when umpires reward a good tackle.
Yep.
Goes short with the left foot, nice kick. And, well, that's nearly 50 because he'd clearly taken the mark. But umpire gives him the benefit of the doubt. And Jake King, leading goal kicker for the league, yet to register a goal today. Kicked a couple of behinds at least in that third quarter. He stretches out as well. So he's going to kick from about 40. Right forward pocket. Crowd getting boisterous. And a nice kick off the boot, but it is just off to the left from Jake King. And it is through for one behind. And looks like with 25 points, it's going to be pretty tough going now, Michael Maney.
Yeah, no question about that. Schultz, the kick into the centre. And just wearing a high one was Hilda. The skipper, will he hold the Premiership Cup aloft in around 10 minutes or so? Bell Chambers ran under it. In fact, it was King. A free kick to Eastoe off the ball here for holding. So the crowd coming to life. The Eastoe kick is okay. And finds Lockie Edmonds. In short, got a call from Dark. Dark plays on. All St Pat's here. And Vandenberg, who's been pretty good back there. Vandenberg.
Has been. Had a good battle all day, hasn't he? With Charlie Eastoe. Eastoe probably say he's won the battle with 3 goals. Tell you what, this man's played well too this afternoon, hasn't he? Kicks it long. Does Kilby. And nice little tap there. There's a chance for Claridge now. This could bounce through. Nearly running onto it there was Harper. Has got time to dish off a handball. This will be an easy goal for St Pat's. And there's the icing on the cake. Kicked by, was it that man? Was it King? It was Jakey King. He's got his first of the day and he's got the sealer. The leading goal kicker kicks number 62 for the season and his first for the afternoon. And they can start popping the champagne bottles now. St Pat's 9-10-64, 31-point margin now over Old Scotch, 3-15-33. And Rob, I'm going to hand it over to you for some comments because I'm going to make my way down to the ground for the presentations, and we'll let Michael Maney and Rob Soward call it home.
Let's hope you get the best on ground right, Rick, because we'll be waiting
on the pressure on me, aren't you?
Thanks very much.
I think you've got it covered well. Great job, guys.
Great calling. Ball's back in the centre of the ground, and Kilby's he's done all day. Punches it forward. Scotch into attack though, looking for a last hurrah, although I think that ship sailed. Nice tackle there by the St Pat's player, and they're going to come away with it again. That's really, really nice play. But I thought we were about to get a whistle there then, but no, ball's heading back into the centre of the ground, and that's taken by Welsh. Drives it along, gives them another inside 50 heading in the direction of Lasky, although I think the boundary line might win out on that one, Michael. And we're heading into the shadows of the post now, aren't we, for this game? And it's certainly been a great all-round effort from St Pat's, that's for sure.
Yeah, well, and you've got to say that Old Scotch had plenty of opportunities to be a lot closer than this. When you look at the scoreline of 3-15, they haven't taken too many of those chances in a positive way. Here's Mackenzie, who just held off a couple and then got the kick to the line, and it rolls out in front of Jackson Young. Yeah, the tail of the tape has been what you've been rattling off all of the afternoon. Just got to take your chances in a grand final, and if you don't, this is the end result.
And that certainly comes, I think, with the confidence of a St Pat's side that finished on top of the ladder, only lost one game. So, you know, you leave the gate open for them, they're going to be relishing that. They've got another inside 50 now, and it's heading in there, as we are, as I said, in the shadows of the post. Quick kick forward there, heading towards a vacant goal square. Bounced, just on the wrong side of the post. Unfortunately, Scotch through Duggan, bring it back in really quickly. Time's going to be against them, though. They need 6 goals in not very much time. Great desperation there. I think that was the skipper, and that's punched over the boundary line by St Pat's.
Julian James, I think.
Julian James. We called him earlier, you know, very, very good intercept defender, and just great desperation there. I mean, that's summed their day up, hasn't it? You know, like a couple of minutes to go, and he's diving at it like they're down by a goal, not up by 6.
Fantastic effort, and that's the commitment in the dying stages of the game, that you're still prepared to put your body on the line and do the team thing, and that's how grand finals are won. No question about that. A ball up at the 22-minute mark of the final quarter. Ballum knocks it down. Oh, gee, a couple of bulls going out there. And the 2 number 5s emerge. Callum Harrison for St Pat's, and Jock Dark, the vice-captain of Scotch. The tap out. Dark, short distance kick. Conway was the man who got it away. Oh, here's Lasky. Just did a Jack Ginnivan there, I think, Lasky, and he's been held to account for it. And Mackenzie comes away to Matt Duggan. Duggan out wide. He's got a teammate in Lockie Edmonds who'll want to spin onto the left. There he goes. Back onto the left. And a little spinning ball finds Young. Young now over the top, had a bit of hang time. Easto's clever enough to duck around the back. He's a class player, Easto. I don't think he's got the journey here. Really had to hammer that long. It might roll through.
It has.
He's kicked all their goals, Charlie Easto. That looked like an end-for-ender, miss kick, whatever you like. And it rolls through for his 4th goal. And finally, Old Scotch get goal number 4, and here it is. And this is just a classy effort, because he just kept that ball and tracked it, didn't he?
He did, yeah. And you looked at the kick as you called it, Michael. It certainly didn't look like it was going to get there. And look at the look on Ethan Conway's face here in a moment. He just can't believe it. He's saying touch maybe. No. A great reward for effort for Charlie Easto. He's certainly battled hard for Old Scotch today, and you know, he's kicked their score basically, hasn't he, every goal?
Yeah. Big Kilby's hit the deck too.
Scotch are away, another inside 50. Ball doesn't sit at all well for them, and it's going to come away, repelled beautifully by the St Pat's defence. Huge big long kick trying to give them another look at an inside 50. They're still full of running on this big ground, which is something, as you made the point earlier, Michael, it's a real test. These guys normally play on smaller grounds, obviously not to the same standard as this one, and warm day certainly tested them out with the cramp and so forth. The umpire's found a free kick. He's going to bring it back, and it's going to be a free kick there, I think. Is it John? No, he's given it to Scotch. I thought John Mackenzie was lining up. He's got the handball, and he will kick that forward. But it's sitting up, and that's a really, really nice mark taken by Ritchie. Long way from home, Clay Ritchie. Drives it in, giving his players an opportunity. Easto, opportunistic type fly there. But unfortunately, all St Pat's, and they come away far side. Conway. Still got runners, as I've said. That's a really, really nice mark taken there by Harrison. Almost time to put Scotch out of their misery. That siren's not too far away. Nice mark taken there by Walsh. Slowing it down the line. Walsh has found Claridge. He's been good today, Braden Claridge. He's saying, no, I'm heading for home. Drives it along inside the 50. Giving his forwards a look at it. Lasky taken out of bounds, though, by that man in Tom Johns.
Just a reminder to
Lasky. Wait for Rick Fontyn to do his thing on the speaker there. He's demanding the attention. Boundary throw in. He's come in about 25 metres, the boundary umpire. That's fair enough. My man McFadgen. Here's Cairns. Kicks it high. Is there a chance for another one for Lasky? Almost took the mark. He's very good to pounce on it when ball hits ground. Johns did nicely. Got it away to Edmonds. Edmonds just kept his eye on the footy but missed it. Here's Brown. Now Brown from outside 50 loads up a long drop punt and kicks another behind. So 9-12-66, 4-15-39. And there's the siren. Division 1 grand final has been won by St Pat's. They led by 21 at quarter time, 10 at half time, extended it to 19, and eventually they run out winners by 27 points, 9-12-66 to Old Scotch, 4-15-39.
It's been a game played in great spirit. I mean, the dominant side of the year in St Pat's, and not much between Scotch and Lilydale, but as I've said, Scotch have got a few months to review what happened today. They certainly brought a lot of intent. There was certainly a lot of energy, but unfortunately just couldn't convert. But that takes nothing away from St Pat's, Michael. Been dominant all day, and every time it was put to them, they just found an answer, didn't they?
They did. Wonderful spectacle out here at UTAS Stadium. Let's go through the goal kickers for the winners before my voice completely goes. 3 goals to Lasky, 2 to Cairns, and then singles to King, Rodman, Bellchambers and Ballum. And for Old Scotch, we don't have to look any further than the number 17, Charlie Usto, who kicked 4. He kicked 3 in the second term and 1 in the last. And he got all 4 goals. And I think we might have to go to the record books to find out whether any player has just kicked all of the goals in a grand final for any club in the NTFA's history. You might have to get Ducky onto that and Nathan Bester. See if he can fox out that little stat. But a wonderful win to St Pat's, and really, Rob, they set it all up in that first quarter where they held Old Scotch scoreless. Well, they kicked 21 points, and in the end, the margin was 27. Old Scotch were pushing, you know what, uphill from there.
Yeah, they were, Michael, and the way they got off to the start too. I mean, 2 early goals from Lasky. They were just all over them. They were dominating in all parts of the game, and Scotch looked all at sea. And then when things settled a little, and Scotch got things back on a bit more of an even keel, when they started getting their inside 50s, and we did talk about this through the day, there wasn't a lot of direction to it, so it was fairly easily chopped out by the St Pat's defenders. So, as you say, that was the difference. And then when Scotch did have some momentum, I think that third quarter, we talked about that, 7 points, 7 behinds. And you know, even if you were the most unoptimistic supporter and said, well, look, you know, only 3 of them were makeable, they turned that around from 7 behinds to 3 goals for. All of a sudden, we head into the last quarter, we got a game.
Some highlights there. We saw King getting his only goal of the game, but came at a consolidating time really for St Pat's. It was really, as Rick Fontyn said in the call, pretty much the sealer when it came to goals. So King, who'd booted 61 coming into this game, getting goal number 62. Scotch I just think if they had a nice big clunking forward, if they could have kicked long too, and it could take a mark keep this all in context, but a Tommy Lynch type clunking forward up there that could either mark or crash it back and get the ball to ground. they would have probably found some more avenues to goal, but they didn't have that, and they had to go a different way. Their number one goal scorer was that man, Charlie Eastoe, who kicked 4, but you couldn't. I think you might have said in the call, or Rick said in the call, that they need about 2 or 3 of him.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can't play him everywhere.
And that's a great point you make with that big clunking forward, because the other thing that does, a taller forward who's making that contest, even if the ball spills, you know, you've got those smaller, clever players like an Eastoe or a Swallow or
Mackenzie who can drift in.
Well, these characters that can just pounce on it, but they certainly didn't have that today. So, you know, full credit to both sides. It was a great game of football. We've had a great day here all day in all 3 grades, but well deserved after the year they've had. Only 1 loss, 2 Scotch by a point, but revenge is a sweet thing, and they've got the chocolates today.
Yes, we're just waiting on our man Rick Fontyn, who's got the golden tonsils down there with the microphone. So players are making their way. Just been played in good spirit. I think a couple of us thought that maybe tempers might bubble over a little bit, but apart from a bit of rough and tough stuff, a bit of off the ball antics that weren't too bad, the game was played pretty much high octane, wasn't it? And the players to be congratulated, because to be able to get onto a ground like this, change a bit about your game. You become a different player when you play on a big ground like this. You have to adapt, and if you're just an in and under and a feeder out of the ball, you've got to run. And let's go down. We'll go down to Rick in just a moment. I think the St Pat's boys are just making their way across, but you've got to change your game, and then you've got the problem of, if you're a little slow, you've got someone running off you and running into space. So the game becomes different, and St Pat's were just that little bit better in adapting to the big ground.
They were, and they took those opportunities. I mean, I thought they were really controlling in how they played the game on this big ground. It's wonderful point you make there, Michael. I mean, a lot of people don't realise how big this ground is. I remember the specs before it got resurfaced, bigger than the MCG, and it's more a circle than an oval. So, you know, there's not a lot of places to hide out there, that's for sure. So, great opportunity for the 2 best sides in this division to play off for the grand final on this ground today.
Yeah, well, they will savour all of these moments that are about coming up with our MC on the ground, Rick Fontyn, and let's go to Rick right now.
Firstly, I'd like to thank our umpires, and I would like to invite one of our officiating umpires to come forward and collect some mementos for your crew today. So well done to our grand final umpires who all reached the grand final as well today. Well done. And next up, they've had a great season and a terrific win last week in the preliminary final, where they came home with a wet sail to make it here to the last day of the NTFA Division 1 season. I'd like to invite the Old Scotch coach, Brayley Coombs, to come forward and say a few words, please.
Firstly, congratulations to the St Pat's boys, to Jake and Albie. Well done on a terrific season. You're the benchmark this year. I think you only dropped the 1 game. Thoroughly deserved to win. I think it's been a while, boys, so make sure you embrace it, enjoy it. You deserve it. Well done. To the NTFA and the umpires for today, and not only today, for everything you do throughout the year. Our footy club, all the volunteers, our sponsors, in particular our major sponsor, Concept Logistics, Dino McClarty, thanks for all your support. All of our supporters, members that came out today, it's great to see so many of you here. To my wife and family, thank you for allowing me to do what I do. And most importantly, to our boys, be disappointed about today, learn from it, but make sure that we're back bigger and stronger next year and ready to go 1 step further. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Brayley. Well spoken, and a great job by you and your boys today. Now time to announce the winner of the David O'Keefe Memorial Medal for the player judged today to be best on ground, and the winner from St Pat's, Jacob Lasky. To be presented by NTFA President Scott Rigby. Congratulations, Jacob. Terrific match by yourself. Time now to present our Premiership medallions and Bogues caps. Just want to thank once again Bogues. Again, been a partner now for close to 40 years of the NTFA, and how good is it to have football back here at UTAS Stadium? So as I call the players forward, would ask you please to come forward and accept your Premiership medallion. Firstly, number 1, Brodie Vock. Number 2, Chris Hay. Number 3, we'll ask him up again, Jacob Lasky. Number 5, Callum Harrison. Number 6, Nathan Barry. Number 7, Brad Dickenberg. Number 8, Ethan Conway. Number 9, Jake King. Number 10, Patrick Rodman. Number 11, Matthew Williams. Number 14, Braden Claridge. Number 15, Liam Brown. Number 17, Jake Cairns. Number 24, Jake Kilby. (25) Luke Walsh. (31) is Kyle Harper. Number 35, Josh Bellchambers. Number 38, Jacob Perkins. (46) Julian James. Number 50, Will Vandenberg. Number 61, Jai Ballum. number 29 and captain, Tom Hilda. And last but not least, the coaches, Jacob Lowe and Alex Russell.
Firstly, obviously, well done to Scotch, a terrific year. We took us by surprise how good you really were. And to win a couple of games against each other, I think the competition's in a really good spot. So congrats on a great season and well done and best of luck for next year. To our team, it's been a bloody long time coming. But I think we set ourselves at the start of the year that we can challenge. And we finally got that belief about halfway through the year. And I think our last couple of months with all the buys and everything else have been terrific. You blokes deserve it. And we're going to turn the footy club into the Crown Hotel for the next 3 days.
Thanks very much, Alex. Congratulations. We'll now invite NTFA President Scott Rigby and the President of the St Pat's Football Club, Ian McCallum, please to come forward to accept the Premiership flag for the Division 1 Premiers for season 2022. Congratulations, Macca. Well done. And that leaves just one duty to do, and we'll invite Tommy Hilda to come forward once again, please, onto the podium. And Tommy is going to be joined by a legend of the St Pat's Football Club in Nigel Meek to present the 2022 Division 1 NTFA Premiership Cup. Nigel Meek to give it over to the captain, Tom Hilda, and the St Pat's Football Club Premiers for 2022. So congratulations to St Pat's. Well done to the Old Scotch Football Club.
And there you have it. St Pat's Premiers in 2022 in the NTFA Division 1.
Thanks very much, ladies and gentlemen, as well for your attendance today.
There's Rick finishing off festivities down there, as he does so capably well. So a wonderful win by 27 points by St Pat's. And I'll just roll through those goal kickers before we leave our stream for this afternoon. Well, thanks to Duff TV, who has done a wonderful job. Just briefly, Jerry on the panels down there has done a top job. Martin Duffy on camera, and also occasionally during this weekend on commentary. So well done to both of those gentlemen. To everyone that has been here this afternoon, we've really enjoyed it. I'll give you those details in a couple of seconds, but yeah, it's been a wonderful day here at UTAS Stadium. Goal scorers for St Pat's, we had 3 to Jacob Lasky, who won the medal for best of field, then 2 to Jake Cairns, and then singles to Jake King, Patrick Rodman and Josh Bellchambers, along with Jai Ballum. And for Old Scotch, Charlie Eastoe led all comers. He was the only goal scorer. He booted 4 of their 4. So a wonderful effort from the little left footer there. But that final score, St Pat's 9-12-66, Old Scotch 4-15-39. Rob Soward, wonderful grand final. 3 terrific games, starting off with the girls, South Launceston, who got a win. Old Launcestonians got a win by 17 points over St Pat's, and St Pat's did a number this afternoon on Old Scotch.
Yeah, they did. You've summed it up beautifully, Michael, and great calling, a great day. And I just wanted to add my thanks, echoing everything you said, but also thanking everyone who've tuned into the stream, but also who've turned up here today. Some people have come for one game, some have come and made a day of it, and that's what community football's all about. At the best venue for football in Tasmania, I don't think there's any doubt about that, but couldn't have done any better with the weather, and we were treated both online. I had some people contact me who were listening in the car. You know, it's just a great day of football. 3 different clubs taking the honours, and we'll be celebrating tonight. The football's in good hands, that's for sure.
Comments from Rob Soward. Thanks also to Rick Fontyn, my fellow commentator, or our fellow commentator, for the grand final there. And also Matthew Chaplin, who did an outstanding job in both the women's and the reserves. I thought his special comments were incisive and extremely well put. So that's it for season 2022 when you come to the Division 1 of the NTFA. But next weekend it is the Premier League Grand Finals, and that will be streamed live through Duff TV once again, and I think starting at around about 9:30. I'm not quite sure of the official times. All of those details will be sorted out by Rick Fontyn and his men through the NTFA Scott Rigby. But a win to St Pat's College, 9-12-66. They beat Old Scotch 4-15-39. This is Michael Maney. We'll see you next week here at UTAS Stadium for the Premier League Grand Finals. Not a bad effort by the boundary umpire. No one could even get a fingertip on it. Lasky around the body, that might be a goal. We've got our first. Lasky just turned it over the left shoulder, and on the board they go. So a nice start here for St Pat's. They get their first goal, 1 goal straight. 6 to Old Scotch yet to score, Rob.
Sort of out of nothing, really, wasn't it, Michael? It was just weight of pressure, you know, getting the ball in the forward half of the ground. But Lasky, very, very clever player around the ball. A good acquisition for him, ex-South Launceston player, and that's a really, really great start. And
good mark there taken because by King, leading goal kicker in the NTFA this year. 61 goals for the season. And, well, dropping a mark he should have taken there was Blizzard for Scotch. So St Pat's with the opportunity. And
good tackling. And that's holding the ball. Lasky again with the tackle. Geez, been prominent. Kick 1 goal 1, and now a forward 50 tackle. Driving, punishing ball, almost hooking it in was Voke. Now he's got to spin back and finds a target, and did it nicely.
With another entry into the forward 50. Spills, handball there from McFadgen, your man Michael.
Yep, love him.
They're going to come inside again. Now, tell you what, that wasn't Lasky again, was it?
Lasky.
What a start to the game he's had. He's kicked 2 goals. St Pat's have 2. It's going to be a push. It's going to be a free kick. It's going to go the way of St Pat's. And it's Ethan Conway. Comes across just over the top of Dickenberg. Might have been a bit of holding, but he breaks away nicely. Inside 50. Charles Eastoe kicks it long. Good mark. Taken in the right forward pocket. And it's going to be the first.
Can play cricket too.
Yep. Harrison kicks it to the railway side. And here he is, King. He and Lasky have had a great start. Inside 50 again. Rodman, I think this time might bounce through. I think it has. It's bounced through for a goal. St Pat's have got 3. 3-2-20, and they lead Old Scotch. Yet to score. The game go. And again, they're going to get a breakaway. Oh, that's holding the ball. Great tackle. Well played there by Alex McKenzie in the helmet. Whistle goes, but play on. And the mark taken by Bryant.
Bryant sits it up high. Well, roving it and doing it beautifully was Eastoe. Eastoe pulled the kick. What a kick. That is really classy from Charlie Eastoe, and found his man and hit him on the chest, Clay Ritchie. And this is superb. Have a look.
Gosh, that's good,
at
isn't
how
it?
he made the decision. Gets a bit of a wind up and then spews it out to the right. Big fist in the middle of that. There might be a chance here. Eastoe round the body. Good kick. Got a goal. One of the classiest players on the field, Charlie Eastoe, knew exactly what he was doing. And Scotch get their first goal at the 7-minute mark of the second term.
To say that was importance and understatement, guys. He's been really, really good today, Charlie Eastoe. Obviously their best player by far, but he needs to find some mates. You know, we talked about some names there. Mackenzie, Swallow, Dark, term, and very much something out of the WWE channel, that one. It was, it's silly. And he's not the biggest guy out there, Charlie, no. But he certainly plays with a massive heart. He does. So he's got a chance to kick 2 in a couple of minutes and put Old Scotch right back in it. Slight angle, 30 out. Charlie Eastoe moves in deliberately. Nice looking kick. Goal umpire doesn't move. Goal to Old Scotch. They're right back in it. Margin down to 7 points. Scotch haven't scored. No, sorry, St Pat's haven't scored in the opening 9.5 minutes. Old Scotch have banged on 2-2. Margin 7, Rob. Yeah, it's exactly the start we talked about, both off air and at the start of this quarter, that Old Scotch need. They're starting to assert their dominance in and around the footy. They're being a little bit better with their forward entries. I mean, I'd go as far to say if they can tidy those forward entries up and maintain that dominance around the ball, St Pat's are going to have to think about what they do to counteract that.
I think the move has been that Eastoe's gone a little deeper. We know he's a goal kicker, and then we'll just rely on John McKenzie, Swallow, to get their hands on the footy and try and get some deep entry, and he'll do the finishing for us. So getting there in the nick of time. No one to kick it to, so Speedsters, off you go, on your bike. It's a foot race. Who's going to get there first? Oh, it bounces favourably. Should be a St Pat's goal. It is. Jake Cairns gets the goal for St Pat's. Well, that was like an old high school 100-metre dash. And Jake Cairns, he got the luck of the bounce a little bit as well, but he was under pressure and, well, not a much-needed goal, but just settles St Pat's. They've been dominated. That's their first scoring shot. Took 15 to mark. Short pass into the corridor. Punched away. Getting there in the nick of time. No one to kick it to. So Speedsters, off you go, on your bike. It's a foot race. Who's going to get there first? Oh, it bounces favourably. Should be a St Pat's goal. It is. Jake Cairns gets the goal for St Pat's. Well, that was like an old high school 100-metre dash. And Jake Cairns, he got the luck of the bounce a little bit as well, but he was under pressure and, well, not a much-needed goal, but just settles St Pat's. They've been dominated. That's their first scoring shot. Took 15 minutes. They move on to 4-3 and have opened up a 2-goal margin over Old Scotch. 2 goals, 3-15. It just kills you, though, doesn't it? I mean, Scotch had all the momentum, and that mistake at half-back by Young, you know, kick it, just bad error to kick to that part of the ground. And then, as you said, Rick, it just developed into a foot race when that long kick went forward. Bounce didn't favour the Scotch defender, and Cairns just pounced on it and said thanks very much, and all of a sudden we're back out to a 2-goal game. A-grade bounce if you're Cairns, Z-grade if you're Old Scotch. And here's Ballium. They might have got their mojo back a little bit, St Pat's. That handball's going nowhere. Nicely done here by Harper. Harper's kick has been marked. Josh Bellchambers outmanoeuvred them. And it looks like they're going to get another goal inside a minute or 2. Bellchambers just used the body. Good kick. Bellchambers drives it home for another one for St Pat's. And it's Dark, the vice captain. He's going to have a shot. He'll kick from about 48. And he'll kick it short and very, very nicely. And I've seen that a couple of times, Rob Soward, where that has not been covered, that hole. And very, very well led up the ground there by that man, Charlie Eastoe. Yeah, that's really poor defending there from St Pat's, because this guy's had his own ball. Look at that, so complete passage to run into. Yeah, absolutely. That's just poor marking. There was one bloke you were going to cover, it's him. So there's not much of him, but he's got a chance to kick his 3rd here. He's kicked all of Old Scotch's goals directly in front. 20 out on the siren, kicks a goal, and that's going to lift them. Charlie Eastoe handled that Ethan Conway in the centre of the ground just before they kick in after the behind. He was down with cramp. Fitness is going to be a key. This is a huge ground that these players would not be familiar with. It's a warmish day, and fitness, if it stays tight, could be a massive key. And it's a 50-metre penalty as well after that incident. And certain goal coming up here for St Pat's to Jake Cairns. He's already got one this afternoon.
And he'll kick from, well, a metre out. Straight in front. Goal to St Pat's. They move on to 6-5-41. Open up a 15-point lead, 3-8-26. And for all their attacking in 10.5 minutes, St Pat's have increased their lead.
Really hurt you. We talked early in the game about Scotch not being as direct as they should be going inside 50. And we did find that there was something very, very similar in the last couple of passages of play. Again, just not the right kick at the right time. So they've really got to tidy that up, and that's where Easto was really, really good for them. And as I said, he's the subject now of a pretty hard tag. So Jake Byrne coaching panel do to break that one.
It's a lot harder to get a football these days, and back in the old days when the poplar trees were down the bottom end, Rob, and you could, when they kicked a goal, you could race away with the Sharon.
Absolutely.
But Cairns has given the kids every chance if they're over the back there and they've got the patience. Here we go through Bellchambers. Bellchambers, standing start. High kick to the square. Who's doing the crumbing? Lasky, high handball. Ballium, goal. Oh, St Pat's are popping the question right now. And they get another goal. And Jai Ballium, he joins the party, gets his first. And all of a sudden,
kicking to a contest, 2-on-1, favouring Old Scotch. Ball falls. Swallow is there for Old Scotch, and we're going to get a ball up about 35 metres out from the St Pat's goal. They're kicking to the city end, and well, now there's been a free kick. He signalled for, definitely signalled for a ball up there.
Yeah, I saw what happened there. So what happened was Swallow came in, and in fact Lasky came in just a couple of seconds before that replay, and appeared to make contact with Lasky, and the umpire didn't see it. Then Swallow verbally gave it to Lasky, and then Lasky got the free kick, and now they've got a 50.
Well, certain goal, and this is going to make it very, very difficult. No one on the mark. Easy goal. Jacob Lasky has his third, and it's just starting to unravel a little bit here. 24 points the mark. St Pat's by 23 points to 50. It's a good defensive, strong mark there, taken by Richie Hazelwood. A tackle, Claridge actually it was. It was a great tackle. I got excited, thought it was your man for a moment, Michael. Kilby, and nice little tap there. There's a chance for Claridge now. This could bounce through. Nearly running onto it there was Harper. Has got time to dish off a handball. This will be an easy goal for St Pat's, and there's the icing on the cake. Kicked by, was it that man? Was it King? It was Jakey King. He's got his first of the day, and he's got the seal up. The leading goal kicker kicks number 62 for the season, and his first for the afternoon. And they can start popping the champagne bottles now. St Pat's 9-10-64, 31-point margin now over Old Scotch, 3-15-33. And Rob, I'm going to hand it over to you for some comments, because I'm going to make my way down to the ground for the presentations, and we'll let Michael Maney and Rob Soward call it home.
Let's hope you get the best on ground right, Rick, because back onto the left, and a little spinning ball finds Young. Young now over the top, had a bit of hang time. Easto's clever enough to duck around the back. He's a class player, Easto. I don't think he's got the journey here. Really had to hammer that long. It might roll through.
It has.
He's kicked all their goals, Charlie Easto. That looked like an end-for-ender, missed kick, whatever you like, and it rolls through for his fourth goal. And finally, Old Scotch get goal number 4. And here it is. And this is just a classy effort, because he just kept that ball up. A long drop punt. And kicks another behind. So 9-12-66, 4-15-39. And there's the siren. Division 1 grand final has been won by St Pat's. They led by 21 at quarter time, 10 at half time, extended it to 19, and eventually they run out winners by 27 points, 9-12-66 to Old Scotch 4-15-39.
been a game played in great spirit. I mean, the dominant side of the year in St Pat's, and not much between Scotch and Lilydale, but as I've said, Scotch have got a few months to review what happened today. They certainly brought a lot of intent. There was certainly a lot of energy, but unfortunately just couldn't convert. But that takes nothing away from St Pat's, Michael. Been dominant all day, and every time it was put to them, they just found an answer, didn't they?
They did. Wonderful spectacle out here at UTAS Stadium. Let's go through the goal kickers for the winners before my voice completely goes. 3 goals to Lasky, 2 to Cairns,